What's up, everybody? Welcome to Respawn Aimfire, episode... sorry, I didn't look at the number. 112. We are the Kick-Ass Irreverent Gaming Podcast, where five lifelong friends gather around to talk about video games. I'm Chad Michael Ennis. We've got Holden DePardo. Say hi, Holden.
Hello.
Steven Dutzman from EF Gaming. Say hi.
Hi, it's Engaged Family Gaming.
Engaged Family Gaming. Yeah, I just thought of my head. Twitter.
Whatever, it's fine. That's my Twitter handle, so thanks for the plug.
You're welcome. And we've got Jerica Hanna over here, Glitch Girl. Say hi, Jerica.
That's me. Hello.
And then there's you, the listener, and that's why we love you. So we're going to go ahead and start by introducing you guys. You have both been on our show before on separate occasions. This is your first time both here together. Jerica, tell us a little bit about yourself for anyone who doesn't know.
I talk a lot about video games on Twitter. I play games all the time, and I like to talk about them. That's why I'm here. Big Mass Effect fan. So if you ever want to go down that rabbit hole with me, I'm open to it. And yeah, and on this topic, Death Stranding, I'm obsessed. So don't know what it's about, but I'm ready to talk about it. I like weird games. Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Wow.
Cool. And what if anyone wants to follow you on social media? What's your social media stuff?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at GlitchGirl, and that's with 2 G's, GLITCH. Girl, the original GIRL was taken, so GURL. GlitchGirl together. That's it.
Interesting that you
there
said
you
with
go.
2 G's. Okay, cool.
Oh, I guess that makes sense, right?
It's like
2 G's.
Glitch Girl with 2 L's. You're right. There are 2 L's in there.
There you go.
Perfect. Steven, tell us about yourself and your podcast.
Sure. My name is Steven Dutzman. I am the founder of EngagedFamilyGaming.com. That's a website on the internet where parents like myself and my co-hosts help people learn about good games to play with their families. Because believe it or not, it's hard. Oh, we got some beeping going on. By the way, it's 8 o'clock. And it is, we got home late and we had to do an unboxing video where we unboxed 1 million Pokemon cards.
Yes.
So our everything is, and yes, I deliberately mispronounced that. Please don't at me. Everything's crazy. My wife is a superhero. So I am on like 47 different podcasts, but you can find me at Dutzmania. I'm sure we'll put it in the show notes on Twitter or at EF Gaming is my professional account. And I talk about family games, and I yell at Chad about being wrong about Zelda a lot.
He's very wrong about
those.
That.
Guys, he definitely
is support on that one.
Okay, first, just because there's a cult of you who's been brainwashed that it's great does not mean that you're right.
We're wearing red. That's the sign of our cult, by the way.
I just want to be clear. It's not brainwashing if it's true. And
exactly.
We're gonna and Jerica, this is the ongoing bit between me and Chad is that he's wrong and I'm right.
Okay.
And
you're right. That's the agreed upon bit.
And eventually, when he's not a coward, we're gonna have an episode where it's basically just Holden being like the referee from like Celebrity Deathmatch, and me and Chad are just gonna yell at each other about Zelda for. It'll take about 5 minutes for him to realize that I'm right and he's wrong. And so it's going to be a real short and unsatisfying
I just want to say, out of fairness sake, I'd be a terrible referee because I'd agree with everything you're saying.
There was something
Chad, shut up. Your opinion sucks.
You.
Listen to Steven's opinions. They're much better.
There was something that you were wrong about that I don't remember that I was supposed to fight you. Or no, it was Holden. Holden and his opinions about Horizon Zero Dawn. You guys were going to fight too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I was going to do battle with both of you. I'm way more attached to my opinions of Zelda Breath of the Wild than I am about Horizon. Like, he's allowed to be wrong about that. Like, whatever. I mean, that's just but you're just being silly, Chad. Anyway.
Chad has also played a lot more Zelda than I have, Horizon Zero Dawn. So that's to be fair.
Yes, that is very true. So if you guys, I know a lot of our listeners have kids, so if you guys are interested about like how to introduce your kids to video games, what's good for kids to play and stuff like that, check out Steven's podcasts. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. What's most important coming at the end of the episode is
I can't plug my show? I'm on Respawn Aimfire. You can catch me every Tuesday.
You're also on another show that we just recorded for the first time today. What is it?
Yeah. It's Affable Idiots.
Affable Idiots, that's right. Coming out hopefully this week if we can get all the iTunes and Google Play stuff and an album art figured out. So that's coming out this week. We're going to talk about E3 predictions today. That is the main reason we are gathered here today. No one's getting married, but we are going to have a fun time regardless. Until we talk about that, we have a few things we want to bring up because a lot of stuff happened this week. First of which was a big reveal from Death Stranding. Starting with our Sony Quest log, we got a trailer from Death Stranding. There was a countdown to it, or not a. I guess it's kind of a countdown. It was
a countdown. Yeah.
They were saying it's going to be on that day, and then it was just like hands over top of video. People just watching hands for a long time,
and then, really creepy music.
yeah.
Just like,
and then they finally revealed the trailer, and it is a trailer. Regardless of its 9-minute running time, that showed us a ton of stuff. I'm going to read a couple of things here, some Kojima quotes, and then we're just going to throw it over to Jerica, who is our Death Stranding fanatic, and she's going to talk about it a little bit. So we got the trailer. We also got Death Stranding available November 8th on PS4. This comes from the PlayStation blog. A couple of quotes from Kojima. Quote, "People have created walls and become accustomed to living in isolation. And Death Stranding is a completely new type of action game where the goal of the player is to reconnect isolated cities and a fragmented society. It is created so that all elements, including the story and gameplay, are bound together by the theme of the strand, or connection. As Sam Porter bridges, you will attempt to bridge the divides in society, and in doing so, create new bonds or strands with other players around the globe. Through your experience playing the game, I hope you'll come to understand the true importance of forging connections with others." One last thing on the topic. Sony explains how Death Stranding multiplayer works from Jasmine Henry at Game Rant. Assist other players section of PlayStation UK's listing of Death Stranding vaguely explains the multiplayer, saying you can help other travelers without ever crossing paths via asynchronous online gameplay. Players can share supplies and safe houses and walk in the footsteps of other players as they try to reunite civilization. So I want to start by just kind of impressions of the trailer, and then we can get into a discussion about the game and some of this multiplayer stuff too. Jerica, how does this make you feel?
Hyped. I got so hyped, and I don't know what's happening in the trailer. I think we got a few answers about some things, but honestly, like, I was so intrigued by this game when the first trailer came out in like 2015, and I think that was at E3, and I know, like, I'm a big follower of, like, the Silent Hills, like, what that game was gonna be, so I was really excited to see, oh my god, there's Norman Reedus, and there he is, and he doesn't have clothes on. That's interesting. he's on a beach with this weird jump drive necklace thing, and that's weird, and I like it. Oh, it's Kojima. It's his new project. Little did we know, it wasn't even really a game yet. It was just a trailer. So the
fact
fact
they didn't even
that
have a game engine yet.
No. So to finally see this much like story and gameplay at the same time, I was blown away. Did we get a lot of the story? No. But Kojima managed to get me hyped about a Finnish cello metal band. That's the theme song. It's Path by Apocalyptica. Did I pronounce that right? Is it?
Yes.
So I now listen to that on my way to work. Gets me going. I don't know how. And there's babies. It's cute. Is it smart? It looks intelligent. It's waving at people, so that's neat. There's Die Hard Man, Heart Man. Those names are, there's Homo Demons. I mean, what else could you want from a video game?
Yeah, if anyone was ever upset about, like, some of the life of Metal Gear Solid going away forever when Kojima left Konami, no, it's very much here.
It's
all of the wacky characters and names, and they're still here.
They're here. But I think we got a little bit more about this trailer. I don't know if we want to go into that now, or if you guys had some thoughts. I know from what I can tell from the previous trailers, because they've all sort of told like some part of the story. Yeah, you don't really know where to tie them in together. But there's definitely some interdimensional travel. I feel like, this is my interpretation, something has gone wrong with the United States of America, because now it's like the United Cities, like the bridges thing, like everything's connected differently. But something's went wrong where all these, I think they're called BTs. I don't know what that's an acronym for, but these beings from another dimension is like Are they eating people? I don't know. They're dragging them somewhere to another place. And we got to see that in this trailer, so that was super exciting because I've been wanting to know, like, well, what happens when you get taken? So definitely some, time jumps. There's the time fall, the rain. It ages everything so quickly. I think we saw in a previous trailer where I think it was from the Game Awards. I forgot. Was it last year or the year before? It's been a long time.
Yeah, I don't think we got any Game Awards this past year.
No, even though they hyped it up and then they didn't show anything. But yeah, it's been like a year, and that trailer, we got to see that character. He was stuck under a bus thing, some kind of vehicle, and the rain hit him, and it aged him so fast. And we got to see that with the crows in this trailer, the birds that were flying. I think they were crows. I'm not a bird expert.
Ornithology is not my strong suit.
Okay, cool. Me neither. So, but yeah, we got to see the time fall. We got to see the babies in the pods, the bridge babies. I guess that's what they're called.
Bridge babies, yes.
The bridge babies. That's what they're called. And I don't know if there's more than one. I thought there was only going to be one. Who knows? But yeah, they apparently can see these other beings and sort of alert you of, where to go in the game. So I feel like we're going to have a lot of that, like, mechanic built in to where we have to plug into the baby and see where to go. There's also footsteps. Did you see the footsteps?
I saw the footsteps. There's the babies are in these like almost Matrix style pods, and you got to plug in. And unless being plugged into a baby, you can't see these beings. Which is, I feel like, does that harm the baby? Are we sucking the life force out of this baby?
Apparently it's not fun. He mentioned
like a battery because it's powering that little like. I don't know how to describe it. Like a little fan thing that kind of opens and closes.
We're all doing this pulse with our fingers for all of our audio listeners, which are all of you.
I think it's powering that in some way. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know how, but it's powering that. I hope it's just like the life out of that baby because that baby is kind of cute.
It is. It's adorable. It's not like real babies. It's like a Pokemon
until it got replaced
baby.
by like that creepy Toy Story machination doll that we saw.
Ooh, that was cool.
That's like the demon version. Like that's the angel baby. That's like the demon baby. I don't know.
It looks exactly like the baby doll head that got stuck on the erector set in Sid's room. Yeah.
Absolutely. It looks like that. Maybe I really hope it's not the whole thing because having that in your esophagus
would be
horrible.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope they answer that. Like, how does it get there?
Yeah.
How does it get out?
Small graphical thing. That baby's hand goes up against the glass.
It's like
that looks so good. You could actually see how it imprints on the glass, like very realistically. I was very impressed by that. I think Jared kind of said it all. It's a really great trailer. I still don't really know what it's about, but I feel like I know more about it.
I know that there are ladders that seem to extend as far as you want in the world,
and there's an option to pee. If you look closely, there's an action to pee. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I want in a game. That's all I need.
The story there is Norman Reedus had his motion tracking equipment. He went to go pee, and they're like, "Oh shit, we just captured all that. We'll put it in the game. Why not?"
Kojima wants all of him in this game. He said it. We're going to see
use
all
every
of
part
him.
of the horse. No, not the horse. The bison. The bull. What do you use every part of? The deer. That's it.
I think what the show did a good job with is kind of teasing more of the world, and without really even saying what the gameplay is. Like they showed a few moments of gameplay. But I mean, you can't really discern anything about what your moment-to-moment experience is going to be like with this game. I still have absolutely no idea. I did notice that there seems to be a stealth element to it, to an extent, where like he's going through that forest, and that's when the baby's kind of powering the sputtering thing, and you can see the whatever those kind of apparitions are.
They're called BTs. We don't know what that stands for.
Is that the BTs? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if those are the BTs or not. I have no idea.
I wonder what it
I wasn't
stands
sure.
for.
Okay, so those are the BTs. It seems like when he crossed like a line running between them, it like set them off, and that's when something kind of came after him. So I'm assuming you have to use the baby to see them to avoid wherever they're present.
Yes.
That seems to be what the idea is. But then there's the element of the open world, and there's that like orange ray that went across the land. Is that part of like those stealth mechanics? What was that about?
I feel like
theories on that.
Yeah, I definitely think that plays into the multiplayer element of this game, because I noticed like when he was in that scene where those guys in the yellow suits were like chasing him with those electric sticks, that like he was like sort of like scanning, like the orange sort of, that's the sound effect. And then like and then you see like things getting knocked off of him, like he was losing, like you were losing inventory. So I wonder that's where when someone else plays this game, they're going to be able to pick up that inventory, see where you went, see where you last, like, I guess got destroyed by those guys with the electric sticks. I don't know. Like, I've never played Dark Souls, but I've gotten a lot of, like, I've seen a lot of comments saying this is going to be sort of like Dark Souls. Is that right? Or is it Bloodborne? One of those two games.
From reading that, I imagine it's going to be like an expanded version of that. Because in Dark Souls, people can leave messages on the ground of like, beware of an ambush up ahead. Or you can see their blood stains, and if you click on it, then you can see exactly how they died. So I imagine that's kind of what this is hinting at as well. That asynchronous, you can help people out. Partnered with like the Pokemon Go, send people a gift option as well.
It's got to be something bigger than that, though, because they're making it seem like we've never seen this concept before. I've seen that in Dark Souls. It's not original. They're tying into something bigger than that. So there's got to be some you can talk to other players, but there's some sort of bigger impact that other players can have on your world and vice versa. Where like by uniting different cities, you're actually having an impact on other people who have also linked to those cities or something. I have no idea, but it's got to be bigger scale.
Or it's just PR bullshit.
Yeah.
There's that.
This could just come out and be a regular ass game that is. I've seen it.
It's a cover shooter.
To a degree,
it's a cover shooter.
To a degree, and Jerica, first off, thank you for the breakdown. Like, that was
it's the best I could do.
Super detailed. Well, I mean, right? Like that, you're not wrong. You did as well as anybody could because who really has? Who could do better? It's so insane. This whole thing.
Yeah.
So,
great.
I actually recorded an episode of one of my podcasts, the EFG Daily Commute, just about this game. And because I was ready to skip it. Like, I was like, Death Stranding, I'm out. Like,
really?
I was completely ready to skip it. Now, with that said, you guys know my situation. I only get so many grown-up games a year. And if I'm going to waste a slot on, like, something, like, super weird but after I watched that trailer, I am now all in. And part of that is because I was expecting this like really like wacky, I don't know what I was expecting, but like a cross between like Metal Gear and Silent Hill, so like Katamari Damacy, just something completely out of left field. And, I thought that it was going to be like not worth $60. And I was just going to be able to watch you guys have the conversation and just kind of appreciate it from afar. But now I can't avoid it. Because it's just a regular ass video game. Like I know that there's going to be, but at the end of the day, he's a dude who drives a motorcycle, like exploring an open world. And at the end of the day, I know we say we don't know what the moment to moment gameplay is, but we know part of it, right? Like he's a guy exploring, probably looking for stuff. We know he fights some dudes. We know he has a gun. So like, at the end of the day, it's gorgeous. We're going to be doing some exploring and some climbing and making ladders appear out of nowhere. Also, I just want to say this game about like making connections from like different parts of the United States, which is just damn. Way to go, Kojima, and just like lay out some themes and be on the nose with it. Right. I would like to point out this guy's name is Samuel Porter Bridges. Now, Bridges is super obvious, right? Like, whatever.
Right.
Porter is literally a person hired to carry a baggage. Like, it is someone that works in a rail station to, like, carry people's crap around. And Samuel means it's Hebrew for the name of God. Now, I'm just going to say comfortably that if he's got 3 names and 2 of them are legitimately, like, not like across the nose, but like straight up, just up it. then the first name was they didn't choose that because that's the kind of beer he likes. You know what I mean? So like, I want to know what the result of Kojima's shenanigans is, and I can't. I don't want to watch it on a YouTube channel. Like I have to play this game now, and that's what 9 minutes. I mean, 9-minute trailer. It's just so crazy. Right? Like, it shouldn't happen.
I mean, how... and not really reveal anything about what the game's about, but show you gameplay in a little bit, just enough. And that's why I'm so obsessed with it, is because there's so much to it, but we know so little. Mm-hmm. And I love that mystery and just being able to... I don't actually want to see any more of this game. That was plenty. I just wanted the release date, see a little bit more of like moving around. Is him delivering some things cool? But I'm good. I'm ready to play it and experience it.
Do you think we'll see anything else?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think we'll see a demo or anything like that?
Well, I don't really think so, because Kojima is very, he's on Twitter a lot, and he's been sharing a lot of, now that they've had that trailer come out, he's been sharing a lot of details via Twitter. And if we get anything, maybe at TGS, maybe we get a little snippet there. But I don't think we're going to see any more of this game. I don't think so.
I guarantee you Andy McNamara from Game Informer has like 6 people humping their legs trying to get a cover story for GI. You know what I mean? Like, this would be, I mean, for real, could you imagine? You want to sell some magazines like that? That's where, if we see anything, I don't think that we're going to see, maybe we'll see like some 30-second reveal trail, like something simple, but if we're going to see anything meaty, it's going to be, it's either going to be like Kojima doing something on Twitch from like his bathroom, or it's going to be something like, you know, a GI cover where it'll be like a very controlled interview. And because he loves that kind I mean, he would absolutely love to be in a room with a bunch of, you know, like, you know what I mean? That sounds like him. Go ahead.
Yep.
Oh, and when you mentioned that, I just totally forgot. So there was an episode of the Conan O'Brien show. He actually went to Japan and he visited Kojima Productions. Mm-hmm. So what he did there, we don't know.
Oh, but I mean, that's possible too.
End of that episode, like someone from the audience asked like Conan, like, well, what did you do at Kojima Productions? And he's like, well, I can't talk about that until they do their thing. So we may have a Clueless Gamer episode
that would
for
be
sure.
So amazing. That
would
also be
he signed the wall. So
that would be Kojima as fuck.
Or he could just be in the game. Who knows? I'm down. Like Conan O'Brien just pops out of nowhere.
We could legit just see Conan O'Brien in the game. Yeah.
I'm also Kojima as fuck.
You could see a Conan O'Brien doing Clueless Gamer of someone playing Death Stranding in Death Stranding.
Yeah, that's the game. We figured it out.
And we're all laughing, but the reality is like that could the odds of that are not long. Like,
well, there's one more.
Go for it. I think mystery is a big part of this game, and I think that Steve makes a great point of the cover story. Something like that is probably, and even with Clueless Gamer, like things that Clueless Gamer especially, because like they don't have to reveal anything about the game in Clueless Gamer. They could just have Conan O'Brien being confused as fuck during the whole thing. A Game Informer article, like Steven said, like it can be very vague. It might not even be a full cover, like a full 14-page spread. It might literally be like we have 2 pages on it because that's all that we could get. But it's still a cover story because everyone's going to read those 2 pages.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're never going to release a trailer because this game gets off on mystery. The less people know about this game going into it, I think that's how Kojima wants it. I think if you knew so much more about this game that I could recite the story back to you right now, like you can with so many other games, it would lose its luster. So, like, yeah.
Yep.
I think even after it's out, we're not going to know what the hell's going on.
There's also that,
exactly. Yeah, for sure. Try to sit down and tell everyone the story of Metal Gear Solid straight to finish and not sound like a lunatic.
Well, Mads Mikkelsen was in the game, and he still can't
He don't
describe it.
Right.
So.
Norris is like, you know, he's a genius, man. I just do what he tells me. It's like in every interview.
Well, there's one more piece of Sony news that we want to talk about. There were a lot of rumors that we were going to get big news on The Last of Us Part 2 this past week that didn't turn out to be anything. However, there's an article from DualShockers. The Last of Us Part 2 rumored to have moved from fall 2019 to early 2020 from Chris Compendio at DualShockers. The biggest takeaway from this is a tweet from Jason Schreier that says, quote, looks like Death Stranding is about to get announced for a November release. The Last of Us 2 was also planned for fall 2019, but I actually just heard it got bumped to early 2020, possibly February. Either way, wild final year for PS4.
I am so okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't need to play both of these games at the same time. I don't
No.
need a
I also
bandwidth.
don't think Sony would want them to release that close to each other.
Right.
No. But I am very surprised that Death Stranding is the next, Sony game.
Yeah.
Like, because literally, like, that game, they started developing for it, I feel like, in 2015. And it's coming out this year. And I know that's with help of having the Despot engine, but I really thought Last of Us was going to be next.
Yeah.
It seems certain. It seemed like, obviously Last of Us is next, and then probably Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, just whenever the fuck that comes out. Like, that was kind of...
Yeah, everyone
that
was like,
the order.
Are we sure this is even going to be a PS4 game? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. Haven't even literally announced the name of PlayStation 5 and it's coming out.
Yeah. But also, like, now that we know that Death Stranding is coming out in the fall, now, like, we haven't gotten firm confirmations on this kind of stuff, but, like, Animal Crossing is coming out in 2019 at some point. That's probably going to be in the fall at some point. Luigi's Mansion hasn't come out yet. That's going to be later on in the year as well. There's, like, Pokemon's going to be later on in the year as well. I'm like, there's so many games coming out that I already know are coming out that I'd rather have Last of Us in a period that's not going to be super crowded, so I can really just take my time with that. That game will sell gangbusters at any point in the year.
Yep.
Any point. It could come out the day after Christmas and it'd be the biggest seller of December still. Like, it's going to be a huge game.
Huge.
Maybe not the biggest seller of all December with all the other games coming out, but, like, you know what I mean. It's going to sell very well.
We're going to jump into playtime where we talk about what we played this week. Mine is real short. Speaking of my hour-and-a-half commute both ways, I have a lot of time to play Switch now. So I've been playing Guacamelee 2, and I noted a lot of my impressions last week on our episode. What a fantastic Metroidvania game. And it moves so quickly. I think it's like 8 hours total. I'm maybe about 6. I feel like I'm pretty close to getting the last part of this game. But yeah, if you haven't played Guacamelee or Guacamelee 2, highly recommend any Drinkbox Studios game. That's it. That's all I've been playing. Holden, what have you been playing?
Well, I played Borderlands 2 because that is our BARF game.
What does BARF stand for?
BARF stands for Backlog Accomplished with Respawn and Friends. It's also our game night. Every Tuesday night we play that with our Patreon supporters. Mm-hmm. So we'll keep doing that.
Oh my god, where can people go to support us on Patreon?
Patreon.com/Respawn and Fire.
Yeah! Woo! Do it. We have fun. It's great.
I have also been playing Threes. Just because I haven't had much time to play games this week, and I just pulled up Threes, started playing Threes again. Do you guys... Chad knows what Threes is, that's why he's laughing. Do you guys know what Threes is?
I definitely know what Threes is.
Okay, yeah.
do
Steven
not.
and I know each other well. We get the same games. We get it. So, Jerica, Threes is basically 2048. Do you know 2048?
No.
It's a mobile game?
No.
Okay, so the idea with... We'll just explain Threes then. So, basically, you're totally fine. Threes is a game where you have a grid of little blocks that have numbers on them, and you can group together blocks that have the same number. So you have threes, a 6, a 12. You put 2 3s together, it makes a 6. You put 2 6s together, it makes a 12. And you're just trying to get the highest number possible, but it gets kind of challenging. You have some blocks that are 1s and 2s, and those can only be put together to make a 3. But sometimes if you have like 2 1s together, it can kind of be a little bit of a block. So you have to... It's a puzzle. You have to kind of think around it and think, okay, if I swipe down, the next thing I know coming up is going to be a 3. I hope I can get it to line up with this other 3 that I have up there, so I can combine that with the 6 that's next to it, and then kind of just chain those together so it makes a 12. It's a really, really awesome mobile game. I'd go as far as to say it's a perfect mobile game. It's the perfect mobile game for just playing it for 3 seconds to make a few turns, and then put it away, and then you can go back to it again and continue that match at another point. It is super addictive. It's awesome.
Oh,
And
so
it's
you
gotta
can like
return back
leave
to
the
it.
puzzle and then like get stumped and then come back to it and continue working on it?
It's not even get stumped. It's just like, oh, okay, I'm the line of the grocery store moved. It's my turn to to put the groceries down. It's easy to put down in that way, and not feel like, oh my god, when I get back there, I'm gonna have no idea what to do. You go back there, you know exactly what to do. You can pick up exactly where you left off. And it's fine. And it's a great game. And I just played that again this week because I didn't have much time to play games. I had a few kind of off moments where I was able to play it. And it's a great game.
Cool.
But there's really not much to say. Jerica, what did you play?
Oh, I've actually been playing Observation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me about your experience with
Per
it.
Chad's glowing recommendation last week.
So you've played. I'm halfway through.
I beat it.
Okay.
beat it.
And he hated it.
I'm not a puzzle
man.
person. I'm not a puzzle person, but I went into it not knowing it was a puzzle game.
Man, I'm not either. I've been looking them up. I just want to know what happens.
That's what I did too. I was just like, I would get so frustrated and be like, all right, I'm done with this game. And then something would happen like, ooh, but I got to figure out whatever that is.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces, but the concept of the game is super cool to me because I was like, oh, this is what it's like to be an AI and watch, I guess astronauts like float around and be helpful. I don't know. But I thought it was really cool. I loved, so far it's so good. I'm interested in the story. Like I said, I'm halfway through, so things are starting to get a little weirder and weirder. But I do like swapping in between the screens and like helping out these astronauts. And, I think my favorite part so far is going outside of the space station and just looking around when you get, because like you can transfer your I guess I don't want to spoil anything. Is that spoilery? I don't know.
I think I mentioned it on the show.
Okay, good. That's my favorite part, when you transfer to the little floaty ball and you get to roam around. That's the coolest part so far. But yeah, I love weird stories, obviously. So I'm just like, I like this mystery. I hope it has a good ending, or is it you get an answer maybe?
I would love to talk with you about it in 2 weeks when you're back on the show.
All right, I will. I'll have it done by then. Maybe we'll do a small
spoiler section there.
Okay.
Yeah, that game, being outside in space, it has some beautiful imagery in it. Some good lighting and things like that too. Cool effects, but I'm just not a puzzle person. But the shtick, the interesting take on the gameplay, bouncing around from room to room via cameras and that kind of stuff, is a cool.
That is cool
element. Great, Steven, what have you been playing?
So, I have been playing two things. One, I've been obsessing over about this really stupid mobile game called, and I kid you not, Archero, spelled Archero, where you're an archer who I'm guessing is a hero, but I don't know. It's just a rush mode.
Can't confirm.
If I am playing it, I'm always a hero because I don't like playing bad guys. So basically, it's just a series of challenge rooms, and you play it with your thumb, literally, because you automatically fire, and you catch stupid loot. And I have 2 Grim Reaper pets, and I throw ninja swords instead of use a bow and arrow because I guess why not? I've spent $2. It's fun. It's a nice time waster. My kids all play it, so they all steal my phone and fight over who gets to be the arch hero. And so whatever, that's a cool little time waster. But the real game I've been playing, and this is going to sound absolutely bananas, is I have gone back and I started playing Final Fantasy 15 again. Now, I played it the week it came out. I'm a huge Final Fantasy dork. Most people that follow me on Twitter know this. You guys definitely have figured this out in the last year. So I played it when it first came out. This is before all the changes, all the DLC, all the fixes. And now I'm playing it again. My Xbox is busted. So I needed to buy it again on PS4. So I did. And, it is so much better now. It is fundamentally a different game. And because now I get to dress up as Ezio and drive a monster truck in my Final Fantasy game.
Wow.
And if I get frustrated with a boss, I can literally have my whole team equip Power Ranger armor. No, that is not a joke. And fight the boss in Power Ranger armor. So the issue that a lot of folks had with Final Fantasy 15 in the beginning is that it took itself way too damn seriously. Because for what it was, it was like a punk boy band, going on a road trip, which was cool for some folks, not for others. If you really just wanted to lean into the absolute absurdity of it, you couldn't, even though it was really absurd. Now you can do that thing because you can drive around in a lime green monster truck and it's just so amazing. It's such a different experience, even though it's fundamentally the same game. And I found out that clothes have stats now. I guess I missed that the first time I played, or it's new. I don't know.
I think that was there the first time too.
Maybe I'm just, you know what? I just didn't I never changed his clothes at all. I just didn't pay attention to it because I had no options. But now there's a ton of them. Yeah, so I am absolutely dedicated to playing through this because I want to see how much more absurdity I can get. It also looks really, really good, even if you're just playing on a regular PS4 with like HDR. Like, if you happen to have a TV that supports that, like, wow, is it just so much brighter and more colorful? I did not see that coming. I just turned it on randomly, and I was like, what are you talking about? It's just, you can see like the details on the goblins. And then I stabbed them. So, it's also like $20 for like the Royal Edition. So if you go on like Amazon, $25 gets you Final Fantasy 15, the Royal Edition, which is all the DLC, everything. If you're not...
Is that digital or is that physical?
It's physical. The DLC is a code, because that's how they do it. So don't buy it used. Like, you can technically buy a used copy of Final Fantasy 15, the Royal Edition. Don't do that, because... You know, it's the
you just got Final Fantasy 15, basically.
Exactly.
None of the other stuff. Yeah.
But it's like $25 physical. If you're a nerd like me that still uses those, and it's fun because, like I said, I'm Ezio driving around in a monster truck, stabbing Final Fantasy monsters.
It's so interesting that you say that because when it came out, like within the first month, I platinumed the game, and now I'm just like. I had no idea all of this stuff. I remember there's a controversy about the Power Ranger suits where they look too much like Power Rangers.
Yeah, they had to change
tweak them a bit.
They had to because
so that wasn't like a licensing thing or like a cross promotional thing.
Oh my god, I wish it was a cross promotional thing. Here's the thing: if they had tried, I think the issue is that they didn't try.
Yeah,
because this was before this game came out when it was Saban that had the Power Rangers license. And it would have been probably just a matter of asking, and they'd have been in. But they just did it, and they made them, and they were like different colors, and so they got a cease and desist, and so they stopped. And now they all look kind of bland, but whatever, they're Power Ranger suits. Now Hasbro owns Power Rangers, so, I mean, Hasbro is not ashamed to license anything. I mean, look at Monopoly games. So, like, just...
Oh, God, yeah.
So, just... I mean...
Wait, there's more than one version of...
Oh, Jesus. Jesus, we could have a whole episode. But the Fortnite version is actually really good, by the way.
There's a Fortnite?
Of course there's a Fortnite version.
I had no idea, but I'm not surprised.
That's the only way Fortnite can make money.
Fun fact, I know, Fortnite, that little no-name indie title. The fun fact about Fortnite, the only thing Monopoly about it is that it's on a square board. Other than that, it's not Monopoly at all. But whatever. It says Monopoly on the cover, and thus kids buy it. Final Fantasy 15, I think that now is a great time to jump on board, because it's goofy and stupid as shit. Like, you can go on a quest. You go on a quest to make a good cup noodle. Not like...
That cup noodle quest was ridiculous.
Not to make like a cup with noodles in it. No, literally like the stuff you could buy at the grocery store. Like, it's sponsored by Cup Noodle and Coleman and like the camping gear. None of these things are fake. Everything is true. And...
So let's partner with a Cup Noodle, but not Power Rangers.
Right? But that's what's so weird about it. I mean, it's just...
I love the dialogue, too. They're like, cup noodles are so great and delicious, and I always feel satisfied after eating it, and that kind of stuff. It's like, clearly, they are just, like, plugging cup noodles.
And you know what? I love it. Just do it. It is really, I mean, it's really dumb. I mean, it's not going to be anybody's favorite Final Fantasy game. I mean, maybe it's somebody's. There's a lot of people out there. But I think it's definitely worth some time, especially if you can get it cheap and just drive around a monster truck. Like, I mean, it's just, I can't wait to play through some of the other really incredibly dumb stuff that happens. Also, this wins the award for being the first video game I've ever played that made me hungry.
Because the food looks so good.
Yeah, for real. Because, you know, like one of the mechanics is you camp and then one of the guys makes food. You've seen the memes, I'm sure. You're right, man. The food looks so delicious. Like, some of it's gross, but like, man, when he made like the sticky rice balls, I was like, damn. And the best part is my son was watching me, and he watches a ton of dubbed anime, and I'm like, hey buddy, check out those donuts. And he just looks at me real mad, because you know how they make the rice balls and they call them donuts. And
yeah.
He gets so pissed. He's 13, so he's just the right age for that kind of trolling. He's sitting next to me really mad at me right now. Anyway, I'm sorry, I rambled a lot. But Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy 15 is dope.
Royal
I can't wait
Edition.
to go back and check back the new stuff in the Royal
$25. It's so
Heck
good.
yeah. Great. Well, now we're going to jump into our fetch quests. And these are the news headlines where there's not quite a lot of meat to them, so we're going to go through just some headlines. Holden, take us through this part.
Boom, we got Shovel Knight updates coming to Just Shapes and Beats.
Woo!
Wait, what?
So I think it's just called Just Shovel and Knights.
Are you serious?
So yeah, so it's basically it was in a Japanese montage of different experiences coming to Switch, and in there they showed what basically looked like Just Sheeps and Beats gameplay with songs from Shovel Knight is what it looked like, but there wasn't a lot of details there. We don't really know when it's coming, other than it's coming soon.
What? I'm so excited.
Freaking love that game.
Yeah. PlayStation Plus games for June 2019 have been announced. It's Sonic Mania and Borderlands, the Handsome Collection. So there's no reason to not play with us every Tuesday night now, because if it's on PlayStation Plus.
Yep. You guys got it
join
for
us.
free, and if you have a PlayStation without PlayStation Plus, you're an idiot. So
Wow. Wow. Shots fired. You're not wrong, because it's a great value.
yep.
It's an amazing value.
Wait, hold on, though. Counterpoint. If you are a child and you have a PlayStation 4, it's okay to not have it because you don't need it for Fortnite, and half of the games your parents
you
won't
go.
let you play. I deal with that struggle on a daily basis. Like, this one is like...
As a parent, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Like, oh boy, I got a free copy of Bloodborne for my 10-year-old.
Yeah.
I can't wait to let them play that.
That is something that comes up for me a lot, is like, I talk about the value of PlayStation Plus a lot, but but at the end of every year, I look at it and I'm like, ooh, so you paid $60 and you got 5 games.
I've never thought about that. Like,
It's tough. But, I mean, in this case, Sonic Mania worth the price of admission for a month. You know, I mean, and for a lot of kids, like, if you want to play, like, Monster Hunter World, or, you know, like, or if you're one of the parents that let your kids play Call of Duty or whatever, like, you need it. But, but yeah, like, if your kid only plays Fortnite, I forgive you. I absolve you of calling you, that is not you. We're talking about grown-ass men and women like us. Like, if we don't have PlayStation Plus and a PS4, then we can call you names. Because it's just such a great value for us. I'm glad. I literally had the Handsome Collection in my shopping cart when that announcement happened. It was in my Amazon cart. And now I was like, I can delete that because I'm going to get that for free on Tuesday.
heck yeah. It comes with all those new 4K textures, too.
I'm stoked. Did you? Is it Jerica? Jerica.
Yeah, that's me.
What do you think about Borderlands?
With an A. I love Borderlands. It's actually how me and my girlfriend met. That was our first game that we played together, and that was like our first digital date. If we want to get into personal things, so
Headshot Central.
Borderlands is one of those games that it was really cool because you could play with someone and really go to like through all the missions together. So yeah, I've played them all. I'm super excited about Borderlands 3. Of course, I've had all the games already, so I didn't need to download it again for free.
Yeah.
But a really cool time if you haven't played. Download it before 3 comes out, for sure.
Yep. And if you guys finish 2 before the end of the month, tweet at us your 280 character reviews of it. We'll mention it on the show.
I'm excited to get it and download it. That's just one last thing. I'm excited to get it and download it. I'm going to play it and mess around a little bit. But I'm excited for my son when he's a little bit older. Because this is one of those, like, for me, I'm collecting the games. So, like, all right, bro, when you hit the age where your mom allows you to play these games. It's like, how about some
Didn't she ask if he
BioShock?
was gonna, are we going to let him play Resident Evil 2? And you were like, are you kidding?
Yeah, no. Right. Well, so that's what's weird. My wife has a thing where she loves horror. So, like, for her, like, Resident Evil 2 is just another horror thing. But, like, Call of Duty's completely off limits. And I'm like, all right, but for real, though, like, that feels a little weird to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, disembowelment isn't disembowelment. But I'm collecting the essentials. We got, like, we got the BioShock collection. We got, now we're going to get the Borderlands Handsome collection. We're getting there. We got, Metal Gear Solid 5, because everybody needs a little bit of that. Maybe a few minutes of that tops. And probably Death Stranding too. Like he's building the God of War. We're building the essentials list.
And then you're just going to sit down and be like, listen, you have the summer before school starts. You will play this entire list of games.
You know what? Listen, if he did that,
that would be the best summer
we're
of my
setting
life.
up a rig.
Thinking, that's awesome.
Yeah, summer playing list. Yeah.
We're setting up a rig. We're actually going to go through and play all the Halo games on co-op for YouTube.
Yes.
Over the
That's
summer.
awesome.
Oh, that's so cool.
that's gonna
Except
be,
Halo 5.
Can you play that co-op locally?
No.
So
No
not
couch
that
co-op
one.
for Halo 5.
No couch. So that one we might alternate levels. Like I play one, he plays one. We'll figure it out. I mean, we have to get there. We got plenty of games to go through first because we're just going to go through the entire Master Chief collection. He's pretty stoked. I haven't played several of them, so I'm actually really, it'll be my first time.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a wild summer. Not the same as the Summer of Dreams. God of War, BioShock. Like that. That'd be the Summer of Dreams. He's got a couple years for that though. He's only 13.
Just a couple years.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we all remember, right? Like, we all played some of these. We played some pretty horrific stuff, and all four of us seem... Well, all right, so, like, Holden and Jarek and I seem pretty well adjusted.
Here it comes.
We seem pretty well adjusted. Jarek, I mean, you seem all right.
I'm sorry,
seem nice.
I don't like boring games.
Well,
Zelda
I'm
Breath
sorry.
of the Wild.
You know what?
Is boring.
Only boring people are bored.
Whatever happened to you, I'm sorry that someone hurt you, okay? I don't know how to fix that. He knew that a fire, that I was going to be shooting at him at some point, Holden. Like, he knew it was going to happen. You should have been prepared, Chad.
For next episode that you're on 2 weeks from now, I'm just going to write down a list of everything I think you'll say, and then I'm going to take 2 weeks to come up with the wittiest responses.
You're going to need longer, so you better get working. Cut out your sleep.
Holden, take us to this last one.
Yes, last one is Cuphead is going to be coming to Teslas.
Great.
I've been waiting for this.
Every game, like, why are games on Tesla to begin with? Whatever, cool Easter egg, but like it's weird. Why a game that will induce road rage? That's what I don't understand.
My bet is that you can't play it while the car's driving.
Well, you can't, but you're going to be pissed off and then start your car and start driving. So I'm still worried.
Elon Musk doesn't think everything through. There's a hidden piece to this news story that is less about Tesla or Cuphead, but I want to talk about how baller it is that this news story actually happened. So Ryan McCaffrey, the previews editor for IGN, does a not IGN podcast that is purely his own shit called Ride the Lightning, which, by the way, badass title for a podcast about Teslas. And so he reached his 200th episode and got Elon Musk on. He talked to Elon Musk and deliberately, I am sure, talked to him about video games so that he could then write a news article on IGN.com and then deliberately link to his own podcast. That right there is baller as fuck, okay? Like, I don't cuss a lot, but I've done it a lot on this show. I don't do it on any of mine, so thank you for giving me this outlet. That is
that's what we're here
baller
for.
as hell. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, you know what, Pear? I'm going to do whatever the hell I want, and I broke this really weird ass news, so I'm gonna link to my podcast and probably get it a few and talk about Cuphead no less, which does very good traffic, I'm sure, and I'm gonna get like a couple million hits on my podcast. Deuces. Like, I was so jealous of that because that is so cool. Anyway, whatever. Some people are going to crash a Tesla because they're playing Cuphead. I agree with you, Holden. It feels like they're just doing it to say they did. Like, yeah,
Question.
we did it.
When do you think we'll see Skyrim?
I was just going to say Skyrim.
They're
that it's on
absolutely
Alexa, but
planning
not
that right now.
Tesla. Yeah.
That is 100%.
It's on Amazon Alexa, but not a other device that actually has a screen on
Did you
it.
play Amazon Alexa Skyrim, though?
I don't have an Alexa now.
No.
Because it was really
neither.
kind of good.
Really?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
No, because it's... Well, okay. So, it's good in that it's stupid, but... Like...
Is it like D&D? Like
Kinda.
Alexa's the dungeon master, basically, explaining...
Kinda, but not as good. Like, it's not as good as, like, actual D&D. You guys know about this now.
We do.
I know. But it's fine. I mean, it's a neat experience. One of my plans during our E3 Content Summit is we are actually going to record an episode of our podcast where we are playing Skyrim on an Alexa. I bought an Alexa specifically for this. I was playing it on a phone when it happened. I bought an Alexa so that we could record it. So I'll send you guys the edit so you can see.
That's awesome.
That's how we're going to eat dinner one day.
That's great. Dinner and Alexa Skyrim. How
Sure.
much content is out there for that? Do you think she can take you through the hundreds of hours of stuff you can do in Skyrim?
Probably not.
I wouldn't doubt it.
No.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, come on.
I mean, it's Bethesda. They do some wacky bullshit.
They do.
Well, I mean, they already
Anything
have
for
all
the
the
joke.
dialogue audio. I mean, they already
Yeah.
have that.
Yep.
They just got to type out some words basically, and then have Alexa say them.
Oh my god! I
You're
want
walking down a meadow, or sorry, you are walking down a meadow.
I want to hear Alexa just. The one thing that I was missing was that opening dialogue. You know what I mean? Like where he wakes up.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't start like that. It's just a traditional dungeon crawl kind of thing. It's dumb, but it's great.
We're going to jump into our third-party quest log. We actually have just a few more stories total to talk about before we get to our E3 stuff. Let's talk about Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which was announced for release this October. But most importantly, I think, with crossplay included. This comes from Jordan DeVore from Destructoid. Coming October 25th, which kind of is on trend with what we saw last year, there is a robust single-player story in the works, classic multiplayer, and co-op collection of elite operations. That's a direct quote. But there is a cross-play support for PC and consoles, and there will be no season pass so that everyone has the ability to enjoy all the content together. Everyone's all up in arms about the name. I don't give a shit. It's fine. The name is fine. But
No one will
crossplay
not
support.
buy it.
Exactly. No one's not going to buy it. We'll get to this in a second when I talk about some stuff. But games have had names that are the same. Look at God of War. Look at Fable. Look at all of these kind of things. It's the same name game. It doesn't matter.
Although
Battlefield 1.
Although this is not the same name because the first one was
It's
Call of
technically
Duty
Call of
Modern
Duty
Warfare.
4.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. But crossplay support. I honestly was on our podcast saying I don't think we'll ever see the day when we see something AAA. I think I even directly said I don't think we'll ever see Call of Duty crossplay.
Yeah, we specifically both called out Call of Duty as never going to happen because it's too much of an investment for Sony to say we have this exclusive content and that kind of stuff. Holy
Turns
shit.
out it's one of the first 5 games to ever have it.
This makes me question what crossplay is going to look like in the next gen. It just
right.
might be completely open. If Call of Duty's doing it, there's zero excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's zero excuse.
Could you imagine? Okay, so Call of Duty put this out there, right? If your game is in development now, I guess I give you a little bit of a break, right? So the stuff coming out this fall, I kind of feel like I have to give you a bit of a break. But anything after this, coming out next year or specifically next gen, I think this is the explanation of this is just what is going to be expected. Yeah. Because even if it wasn't on your whiteboard for your project plan, Call of Duty may as well have just sent an elite operative into your office to write it there. You know what I mean? Because the PR outcry, even though it's probably not going to get used that much, I think people overestimate how important it is to them. But
Yeah.
But consumers do that all the time. But you can't not. You have to put it in. You gotta just do the crossplay crap, whatever you have to do. I don't know how to make these games. As far as I know, it's wizardry. So whatever spell you do, just cast it. I don't know.
From what I've read in articles and stuff, and what we've kind of seen happen, with what Epic game? What game was it that
I think it was
accidentally turned on?
Fortnite.
Yeah,
accidentally turned
yeah.
on, yeah.
They have to do more work to get the games to be fragmented. Mm-hmm. So this is actually just easier. I think it might have happened. It's just the developers Call of Duty were like, we're not doing it. We got to make this giant game, and it's a huge undertaking already. We're not including zombies. We're going to include crossplay because we're not going to build in that fragmentation.
Sounds
it's
great
just
to
not
me.
worth their time. Yeah, why would they do it? It's not in their interest. People are going to buy the game anyway. It only benefits Sony. Microsoft's let up the brake on crossplay. Sony's the only one doing it. So I think I think in a way we have to kind of thank Microsoft for this. I think if Microsoft was still towing the line on not having crossplay, and so is Sony, this would still be the case.
Yeah.
Sure. In as much as I think we have to thank any giant mega corporation, sure.
They are doing seriously good work though on making the community a better place.
I agree. That was just salt. No, I think it's great, and you're right. Because also Sony was already working with PC, Xbox was already working with PC, Switch was already working with PC. And Switch was working with Xbox. It was just that one little, bridge. Yeah. And we needed Sam Porter Bridges to just get in there and just
we need that bridge,
connect it. That is what Death Stranding is going to be about. It's going to be an allegory about cross-play.
That's good.
The secret multiplayer connection is that you're not going to be helping each other out by playing Death Stranding. Death Stranding is going to be impacted by multiplayer matches in Halo 5. That's how it works. That would be amazing.
The irony is that there is no crossplay supported Death Stranding
because it's only on PlayStation.
I guess technically it is available to play with online with anyone who buys it. There is no fragmentation. Anyone who buys it, you can play with.
What I would really love to hope to see from the next generation. Love to hope to see. That's a lot of qualifiers. Is right now all of his crossplay is handled because you have to have a third-party account, like an Epic account or the Rocket League, whatever they call their pass thing. And I assume that you'll have an Activision account that this will allow crossplay with. I would love to see some implementation on PSN, Xbox, whatever it is, to allow this natively without having to have some third-party account that you're signed into at all times for each of these games. Otherwise, you have 50 different accounts for 50 different publishers. So that's kind of my wish for how this all gets sorted on an official level.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's like when you open up Dauntless and it was like, hey, welcome to Dauntless. Make an Epic account, please.
Exactly, yeah.
Please do that.
And then you have PSN friends, and then you have Epic friends, and then you can invite from other... It's one big solid friend list, please. Thank you. God, I'm already salty about crossplay and how it's implemented. We haven't. Shut up. We're going to jump into a story from our Nintendo Quest log about one of the most ridiculous press conferences. The Pokemon 2019 press conference was uploaded to Pokemon's YouTube channel. There are a few announcements that came out of this, 4 in particular. There was Detective Pikachu 2, that journey is finishing. That's a direct quote, or it's a generalized quote from on Switch. It's finishing on Switch. Then we also have Pokemon Home, which is a new thing on iOS, Android, and 3DS and Switch that will allow you to interface with games on each of them and kind of create one central location for your Pokemon. And from the graphic they showed, also allow you to kind of go back and forth between Sword and Shield on Switch, but only go to Pokemon Home on everything else. Mm-hmm. And then there's Pokemon Sleep, which we'll get into a little bit more in a second, where you can track your sleep and have something happen in this game as well. And then there was one other announcement. What was the fourth one? It's not listed here.
Pokemon Quest in China.
Pokemon Masters.
Pokemon Masters. Right. That was the other one. It was an iOS or mobile game that looks like it's kind of maybe a 3-on-3. It has all of the trainers from previous Pokemon games in it with their Pokemon. It kind of looks like a cool game. All of this coming in 2020, except for Masters, maybe later this year, I think. I can't remember. But we're going to transition slightly into our We Are So Fucking Humble segment because Steven would love to talk about Pokemon Sleep. Steven, I'm going to let you take it. Go.
All right, so the internet was full of hot takes about Pokemon Sleep when that thing got announced. I happened to be watching, I don't know if you guys watched it, the kind of funny reactions video and watching just watching the two of them.
I just watched the actual keynote.
I decided to watch them. I don't know why. I think because I was late and their thing loaded before YouTube did. So I just was stuck with Tim and Andy. And they weren't talking much. So it was actually okay because they were just so dumbfounded by the whole thing. And then I went on Twitter because I was like, okay, this is going to be wild. And it's just tons of hot takes about how it's stupid and whatever. And I'm like, this is my absolute hottest of hot takes. Sure, this sounds fine. Like, I think everybody that is shitting on it or wanted, like, if someone had told us what Pokemon Go actually was when they announced Pokemon Go, we kind of all would have said the same thing. Right? Like, they sold us on a lie for Pokemon Go in the beginning, and it still ended up being the biggest game on Earth. This feels to me like they can't monetize Pokemon Go any more than they already have. Because, like they could, but they would piss off the millions of people. Like, they're big enough to form their own army. Right? So, like, they can't monetize it anymore. So by creating a different app, they'll engage with that same hardcore, I'll do anything to make the Pokemon on my phone happy crowd. And we all know that sleep is important. And this is totally kind of like somewhat off topic, but I guess it's kind of involved. I did an interview with the guy that helped author the screen time guidelines in the UK. And one of his big things is the reason you need balance in your screen time, looking squarely at adult gamers, is that if you game too much and don't get enough sleep, that cascades into everything else, right? Like, it makes it hard to, like, you're tired, so you eat like a moron, or you don't exercise, or, you make poor decisions, and that just cascades into the rest of your health. And so the idea of having our stupid Pokemans, and yes, I do pronounce that inappropriately on purpose, trick a handful of people who might be unhealthy, because especially in North America, we are a society that is more unhealthy than we ever have been on average. Like, that could be that could be awesome. And I know a lot of kids that hate to freaking go to bed. I have 3 of them. And there's 2 of them sitting right there. And if I could trick them into sleeping because it makes their Pokemon better, that sounds like a win-win to me. Quietly really awesome for parents. It's like, nope, we gotta sleep now because we want Bulbasaur to get better.
I didn't even think about that aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep is one of those things where it is so important to your health, and I think it's very underrated in that aspect. Like, if we're going personal for a second, I have anxiety, and I have found that if I don't get good sleep, my anxiety is tenfold worse throughout the day. Mm-hmm. But if I get good sleep, it's fine. It's very manageable. It's like something like this, just like to gamify sleeping.
Mm-hmm. And I've never seen anything
awesome
like it before.
Yeah. Well, I have to wonder how much of this was inspired by Nintendo's Quality of Life program that we know was involving sleep that they just canceled.
Inspired, probably not the right word. Outright taken is probably the right word. Like, they closed down their program, but if you notice during the press conference, Nintendo came out with the Pokeball Plus that was the sleep sensor. I am absolutely certain that they shut down their program that was probably going to be more involved. And we're like, fine, we'll just make a thing. We figured out how to make a thing, guys. Let's do this thing. Now, I mean, most of us won't need it, right? Like, we have an accelerometer and a sleep tracker on my phone. I also use a CPAP. So my CPAP, every morning I wake up, and if I have a green smiley face, that means I didn't almost die from not breathing at night. So that was like a score. So, like, my sleep is already gamified. But, like, this just sounds like an extra bonus to me. I'm super stoked to, because I don't do very well in Pokemon Go. I play it because there's a Starbucks directly under my desk during my day job. Like, literally right underneath me is Starbucks. But, like, I love sleep. So,
yeah.
I'm going to try
I
it.
am 100% in on this. I got really big into fitness like 4 years ago. And since then, I can 100% tell the difference between if I've gotten a good night's rest and I go to the gym and all of that versus if I get really crappy sleep. I can see my performance really take a dip for like the next couple of days. So I've already been tracking I wear my Apple Watch to bed, and I have an app that tracks my sleep and all of my like REM cycles and all that kind of stuff. So I'm already sold on tracking it and gamifying it and getting that data. Mm. And then I also play Pokemon Go every single day already. So if I can just like keep doing what I'm doing and get bonuses in Pokemon Go, fuck yeah, I'm 100% in on that. Love it. I'm totally into it.
Why aren't we Pokemon Go friends?
I don't know. I've been sending gifts to people because I'm like halfway through 38 for the last year.
Jeez. All right, we'll fix that. I'll send you the one.
Yeah. So yeah, 100% in. I thought the press conference itself was ridiculously, like, the actual presentation itself was ridiculous. But the announcements that came out of it, I think, are pretty cool.
I think Pokemon Home is a massive deal.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Absolutely. Quietly the biggest thing they announced. Other than Pokemon shirts, I really want a Pokemon shirt. But
I'm very glad they're coming to the U.S. Yeah.
Well, like when you heard Nintendo talk about, and this isn't really, well, when you heard Nintendo talk about Switch and how they're going to have the mobile platform that integrates with the home console platform, this is the kind of thing they were talking about Pokemon Home, which is it all syncs together to one cohesive place that everyone shares together. If you're playing mobile Pokemon, you're just as much a part of the community as someone who's playing Sword and Shield. And that's just a huge deal. That's going to help bridge gaps. It's gonna Sam Porter bridges it. It's gonna be a really great thing for the community.
Maybe that's. I can't even say it. I can't even say it. You know what I want to say. Just
Death
like
Stranding's about crossplay with Pokemon.
Can you just fix that in post? Maybe bridge babies are Maybe that's Mew in there.
That's what super realistic. That's why they didn't show him in Detective Pikachu, because it would have been a spoiler for Death Stranding to know there's Mew in there.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu and Death Stranding are canonically in the same universe.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Jesus. You heard it here first, folks.
Kojima directed Detective Pikachu. That was all.
Actually, let's be real. That movie would have been so crazy if they just took the same story and the same art direction and just made it by Kojima. Like, am I the only one that saw that movie? Did you guys see it?
No, I definitely saw it. Yeah,
it was good.
Okay, I took my kids. My daughter was a little freaked out. She's 6, so the Greninjas made her a little nervous.
Oh yeah,
because they were real freaky, wet monster things, as opposed to cute, fuzzy Ryan Reynolds things. Anyway,
I think our last part of the day before we get into our E3 predictions is our Xbox Quest log. I've misplaced it. Where did it go? Found it. We have 2 things to talk about. Both are related to kind of Xbox Game Pass and PC. One, Microsoft says it plans to bring more Xbox Game Studios titles to Steam, including Gears 5. This is from Logan Moore at DualShockers. Phil Spencer made clear that Microsoft doesn't want to limit where players buy their games, and there will be up to 20 games coming to Steam, including Gears 5 and Age of Empires 1 through 3 remakes. It's interesting. What did we see recently that made the jump to Steam from Microsoft?
Halo.
It was Halo Master Chief Collection. Yeah, that's right. And it was starting with Halo Reach. And at the time, I was like, whoa, that's huge. That it's not going to be... And now it's just like, nope, that's part of our strategy going forward.
It makes sense, though. I mean, Apple has Apple stores. They also still sell iPhones in Best Buy and Walmart and Target and like every other store that you normally would want to buy a phone at. So it makes complete sense. I think people look at this as like, oh my God, they're selling Halo on PlayStation. It's not like that at all. It's just another store that they can sell content into.
Yep. And then we also have Xbox Game Pass is coming to PC. More details will be coming at E3 next week. This is from Joshua Duckworth at Game Rant. There are 3 kind of things we want to mention. Promises to be a new experience tailored to the needs of PC gamers. It will offer access to over 100 PC games. Developers on board include Bethesda, Deep Silver, Devolver Digital, Paradox Interactive, Sega, and more. And just like on Xbox, you will get a discount on games, 20% discount on the games themselves, and 10% off the DLC purchase in the Microsoft Store. This is... I think it's an interesting route that they took. They're not bringing Xbox Game Pass to PC. They are making a new Xbox Game Pass on PC with different games tailored to the PC community.
Is it the same subscription price, or is it a different subscription?
I don't think they've said it yet.
I don't think they've said it.
They're separate.
I'd be curious to know
separate.
Yeah.
That part we know, that they are separate subscriptions, meaning you can have Xbox Game Pass PC and Xbox Game Pass Xbox. However, I would be surprised if at E3 they don't announce some kind of bundle.
Yeah, that's already too complicated. I'm sure they'll bundle it into one cost to play on everything.
Well, we'll talk about E3 later.
I mean, here's why it makes sense from a business perspective, though, to split it up, is that they're going to have different games on the PC version, most likely. They'll have some crossover, of course, but there'll be different games on the PC version. That $10 a month is going towards the licensing for the games available on Xbox. The $10 for the PC is going to have to go towards the licensing of games on PC. So if they bundled it together, it would make the service worse overall. If they keep it separate, you can offer the same experience on both platforms.
Yeah. There's we'll obviously learn more information next week, but part of the big question in my brain is like, logistically, what storefront does this go through? Because if it's something that's offered on Steam but not Microsoft, then is it out of the question for the Xbox Game Pass entirely? Or if it's something only through Epic, like, is that out of the question for Xbox Game Pass? It's interesting to note.
Yeah, it's probably anything on the table is something that's available on Netflix. Or I don't know. I was thinking about Netflix. I'll get to that in a second. That's available on the Microsoft Store. Actually, not Netflix. Think about iTunes and streaming services there. Like, what's available in Apple Music must be available in iTunes, I imagine.
With some exceptions.
Are there some exceptions to that?
Yeah, like if you want to listen to anything Robin Williams is in Aladdin, you can't stream that with Apple Music, but you can buy it through iTunes.
Well, that's what I mean, though. There's nothing though that's in Apple Music that's not on iTunes.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of more what I was going at. There'll be nothing on Xbox Game Pass that's not on Microsoft Store.
Gotcha.
You go to like Netflix, like if they have a DVD available of it, they could probably stream it as well. I'd imagine it doesn't work the other way.
Yeah. Interesting. Speaking of E3, this is why you guys are all here. We have our main quest, which is going to be our E3 predictions for what we have coming up. Holden, I'm going to let you take the reins from here through almost the end of the episode.
Cool. I'm going to let you take the reins on these fun facts.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Chad.
Sorry. This first part. I just wanted to mention a couple of cool fun facts from E3 that I found on the internet. I was going to try to make a game out of it, but then I couldn't really because it was not like that fun of a fact. But also,
get pumped, everyone! It's not that fun.
Just some cool facts about E3. The Ethernet cables used. This is all coming, by the way, from 2014. So some things might have changed by 2019. But the Ethernet cables used at E3 could stretch from Los Angeles to Salt Lake City, or from New York City to Chicago. In total, these cables weigh more than 2 tons. It's a lot of Ethernet cables. Although, with Sony pulling out and Microsoft not having a conference there, I'm sure the Ethernet cables are much shorter now.
Yeah.
I don't know. More streaming stuff, though?
Maybe. Oh, there you go.
Maybe
Speaking of
more,
streaming, there are more than
Ethernet
55 miles of fiber optic cable used at E3. That's enough to reach the mesopause, which is the coldest part of Earth's upper atmosphere. I learned a new word today. I thought it was a typo, and I thought they meant to say mesosphere, but no, it's a mesopause. Not to be confused with menopause.
I was about to say, has it reached from here till menopause?
It reaches from here to age 50 to 60.
Wowza.
And then there was one more on here I wanted to... Oh, the amount of bandwidth required for 3 days at E3 is more than most U.S. cities require in a year. Which is why, if you looked at Steven's tweet chain from this past, or like a couple days ago, it's like, you will have no Wi-Fi ability or no LTE ability at E3.
None.
Yeah, that post was incredible, by the way. That was awesome.
Yeah, if you are going to E3 or are dreaming of going to E3 in the future, definitely go check out Steven's Twitter and read through that shit.
Thank you.
But we're now going to talk about predictions because that's important. Go, Holden, go.
So actually, we're not talking about predictions quite yet. We have some
Okay,
stories
whatever.
that are about E3. Then we're going to jump into our predictions. We're going to go through these one at a time. If we have things to say, we have things to say. If not, we don't. We can move on.
So what you're saying is Jared and I were invited to an E3 predictions episode, and we get to wait more? Man, I want to talk to your manager.
Yeah, if you guys want to go take a poop break or something like that, go for it.
Well, I am the manager, and we're going to do these stories first,
I'm Mr.
and then we'll do the
Manager.
predictions. Damn it!
That was well done.
So GameStop's database lists more than 20 unannounced Switch titles ahead of E3 that comes from Liam Doolin at Nintendo Life. Most of those games are $60, but 4 of them, one is $40, one is $50, one is $90, one's $200. Which is
Collector's
interesting.
edition of something.
Yeah, so wonder what that's going to be. But a $200 collector's edition of what game? Holy shit.
I mean, Death Stranding just came out at $200, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I got it so quickly.
She wanted
There's a
that.
baby in the pod, and
She
I can
wanted that
carry it
rich baby
around.
lamb.
it's a
I'm
real
going to take it with
baby.
me everywhere. Sold.
Well, you have to take it
Easy
with you
sell.
everywhere, or else the BTs are going to get you.
I know, that's right.
Marvel Ultimate
Yeah, it was $200.
Alliance, maybe.
Was that
You
maybe
think
Marvel
a
Ultimate
Marvel
Alliance
Ultimate
3?
Alliance Switch bundle?
Oh, that's a
For the
really good
$200
guess.
one?
Yeah, that's $200 one. That's a good guess.
Maybe
I
comes
like
with
that.
like all of them as action figures.
Dude, I don't know, man.
This isn't a prediction at all. This is just wishful thinking. I really hope that like $40 or $50 one is the Metroid Prime collection.
No.
It probably isn't, but
No, that's
that'd
probably gonna be a
awesome.
$60
They're charging you $60 for that, man.
Yeah.
I can wish. Okay,
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
can wish. Okay, so moving on. Head of Xbox Phil Spencer announces Microsoft has 14 first-party exclusive to be revealed at E3 2019 from Jordan Biazzo at GameRanks. This is a tweet from Phil Spencer. I won't read it. It's basically just saying, hey, we had a rehearsal. It went really well. We're going to have 14 games at the event. One notable thing, though, is they say 14 first-party exclusives to be revealed. He just says there's going to be 14 games that they show this year.
Sure.
So that can include Ori, things that they've already shown off. But.
Exactly. Like, we'll see Halo Infinite could be in that 14 games. The Outer Worlds is probably also
and
one of those
there are
games.
3 Gears of War games. Remember that too.
Yeah, that's,
Gears 5,
yes.
Gears Pop Vinyl, and Gears whatever.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
The Outer Worlds is also going to be making an appearance at E3 2019. They tweeted out to pay attention to broadcasts from Los Angeles, California, Earth in the coming weeks. Probably at Microsoft's event since Microsoft owns them.
Didn't that game just come out?
Sense. No, it comes out this year at some point.
That's the Outer Wilds. I keep getting those
Outer
confused.
Wilds just came out. Yeah, I kept seeing headlines of that going, "What? Outer
Yeah.
Worlds? Oh, something else." Yeah. Quick few others here. Gears 5 confirmed to appear at Microsoft E3 conference, so that will be one of those 14 games. That was confirmed on Twitter. Also confirmed on Twitter is that Square Enix is going to announce, finally, announce, but show off their Avengers project. So that's happening. They talked about that, 2017? They mentioned they were working on that.
It was like one of the first things Marvel games, I think, announced.
Yeah. So finally get to see it. And then EA announces that on Saturday, June 8th, they're going to have their live streams in place of their normal event. So they're going to have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, they're going to have Apex Legends, Battlefield 5, Sports FIFA, Esports, Madden NFL, and The Sims 4. Closing out with The Sims 4. Interesting choice.
Again, this is not a press conference. It's just gameplay and live streams.
No, I know. But like 9:30 in the morning, I'm not up on Saturday. I'm not up yet.
Well, it's 9:30 Pacific time. It's 12:30. You better be up.
I'm up at that point, yes. But I lived in California. I wouldn't be up yet. So, yeah. I'm very curious what those live streams look like. I'm actually very excited for the Star Wars one.
I imagine they're going to be like, when Battlefront 2 came out and they're like, all right, and then right after our press conference, you can see 30 minutes of Battlefront 2 gameplay. I imagine it's just going to be that for all of these games.
That's a good guess. Any thoughts on any of those stories at all? Anything you guys want to talk about? Or moving on to predictions?
Yeah, let's make.
I know Steven's
dive
mad
in.
that we're not talking about predictions. So
I'm ready to predict. Oh,
all right.
Since we've got the audience's attention and they're anxiously awaiting for our coverage for E3, Holden and I will be doing a reactions to each day of E3. So definitely Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday night, look for our reactions and all-in-one podcast for each day. And then possibly on Saturday, depending on the significance of EA's announcements. We might just roll that all into Sunday. Take us through the predictions, Holden.
Yeah. Well, I don't know everyone's predictions, so everyone will take us through their own predictions. But everyone's going to share one prediction at a time, so we'll kind of go through one at a time and share just one prediction. And I asked everyone to bring more than 5 predictions, just in case someone already says it.
Boggle rules.
Yeah. Boggle rules, you cannot say a prediction that's already been said, unless you're, like, adding something to it. Like, for example,
I think everyone
Breath of the
knows how
Wild
this
2
works.
will be announced. Okay.
Come on,
cool.
come on. Let's give your audience credit. I mean, I know they're stuck listening to Chad every week, but, like, I believe...
They're welcome, first of all. You're welcome for getting to listen to me. That's a blessing.
I'm just trying to get out of the way now that we don't have arguments later on, because we don't fight in this podcast, but E3 predictions is high stakes.
That's right.
This is important. Right. So, Jerica, you're going to start us off with your first prediction?
Okay. I'm pretty sure the next Fable game will get announced.
God damn it.
Actually, I'm going to write these down.
That was one of mine. Yeah, Holden, write these down. Do work so that we can come back and revisit them in 2 weeks and find out who won.
Fable
At the Microsoft conference, obviously. So
announced at Microsoft conference. Cool.
Fable announced at Microsoft conference. Is that the end of your prediction?
Sorta. Can I add to it just a little bit? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, if you don't add to it, I absolutely will make it one of mine and add to it.
Well, I'll let you add to it since I stole it. Because I don't think it's just going to be one game.
Well, no, go on. Now I have to hear what you think it's going to be. Go.
I really feel like... So, like, that's an old game. I want it remastered. I think I want it remastered.
It did get remastered. Didn't they get Fable Anniversary?
I want it even, like, more like redone, if that's possible, because those characters scare me so bad now that I go back and play it. But yeah, I'd like to see like an updated version, like even more updated. But definitely, like, I don't know. I'm gonna say Fable 4. Was it Fable 3 or 4? What was last?
3 was the last one.
3. So this will be Fable 4. I think they'll call it Fable 4. That's it. I'll just wrap it up.
Just to save it here, if it's like Fable subtitle something, but it's still like the 4th game, I think we'll still let.
Yeah, that counts. So you think there's going to be a remaster of first one and a Fable 4? Great.
Yeah, throw it out there. It's there.
We also are big supporters of partial points. So if one of those two things happens, you get partial credit.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Otherwise,
Steven,
you end up with a bunch of nasty ties. You need the new partial points.
Yeah.
They've watched this game play out over many years. Okay, here's my first prediction. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 will have amiibo support.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
And I believe, and I'm going to add on to that, I believe there will be at least one Marvel character amiibo.
Please, I will buy it no matter what. I don't use them, but I love looking at them.
I'm not going to predict who it is because that could be anyone, but
yeah.
But I think that it's going to have there will be amiibo support for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. It's too much of a gimme.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that. All right. My first one. I don't know if you guys... I'm going to take you on a little stroll back to April of 2018. There was a tweet from... there was a whole story from Jason Schreier about Mafia 3. And then there was a follow-up tweet that says, among other details I learned while reporting this story, right next to Hangar 13, a top-secret 2K studio is now working on a top-secret new BioShock game. I think we're going to finally see this game. It's going to show up at Microsoft's conference. It will be announced as a next-gen title. And I think we'll finally see a teaser trailer for it.
All right, so BioShock next-gen teaser.
Yep, at Microsoft's conference.
At Microsoft's event, okay.
I could get down with that. It's time. I mean, it's time.
I got chills a little bit.
This is not part of my prediction, but it is going to be included in that. Like, it's all part of the same world in the way that they're all connected. I'm not going to spoil the end of BioShock Infinite because we've yet to play that on our show, but they're going to be connected in the same way.
Dude, the game came out 3 years ago.
I know. I got Holden finally to play 1 and 2, and I'm getting him to play Infinite.
I guess. I think at this point, if you haven't played Infinite, it's your own damn fault. It's not like it's some obscure indie game, you know what I mean? Like, it's freaking BioShock.
All right, my first prediction is that a new trailer for Cyberpunk 2077 will be shown off during Microsoft's event, and it will be given a 2020 release window.
Okay, that was a huge softball until the 2020 release window. Like, they're going to show Cyberpunk.
It's the same prediction I made for the year, so I'm just kind of bundling that in there because I already made the prediction for the year that to happen at some point, so...
Sure.
Are you updating these in the note? That's dope. Nice. Good job.
No, actually, I'm doing it, and I've started to write it down on my service instead.
Oh.
I got the softball out of the way because I figured everyone's going to take that one at some point, so I'm just saying it now.
I wasn't, only because I really could give a shit about Cyberpunk.
Oh.
Like, how weird is that?
I had so much respect for you, Steven, and it's just, it just disappeared.
I mean...
It's just gone suddenly.
Fight!
I mean, that's fine. Listen, I'm excited for you. I'm so happy that you're going to like it. But it's not I don't care, man. I just don't care. Anyway.
Prediction number 2, Steven, you're up first. I like that, Holden, by the way, I like that you've given us all a different time to go first, so that's nice. Thank you.
This is like, it's like a fantasy football draft. Okay, so I'm kind of glad that my next one goes next because I'm sure someone was going to do this. The new Xbox is that we know they're going to talk about it. The new Xbox is going to release before next summer, and there will be 2 SKUs. To be specific, next summer begins June 21st of 2020 because that's the first day of summer. So I believe that it will begin, that they will give us a release date before summer begins next year, and there will be 2 of them.
So what are they going to say at E3 this year, though?
They're going to tell us at E3 that the next Xbox is coming out before next summer. So they're going to say something like spring 2020 the future is here, blah, blah, whatever marketing crap they do. But that's my prediction.
And 2 SKUs, right?
And 2 SKUs. That's probably going to fuck me. But there's definitely going to be more.
Said there's
one.
multiple consoles, so I think you're onto something there.
I'm going to jump on the next-gen hardware train as well. Microsoft will announce next-gen console, a code name for it. We won't get a name, but a code name for it. We'll see a few features, but the most important part of this prediction is that they're going to announce that all next-gen games are playable on current-gen consoles via xCloud. So you don't have to buy a next-gen Xbox ever to play next-gen games.
You crazy. You're crazy.
I think it's going to happen,
good.
man.
I think I agree.
All right. You're both crazy. I like you, but you're both crazy.
Well, I am really excited for Death Stranding, so, I mean...
Listen, that's the game full of hype monsters, so...
What was the first part of yours, Chad? You said all next-gen playable through xCloud on current gen. What was the first part of that?
They'll announce a next-gen console, give it a code name, and show a few features.
Okay.
For everyone listening, Holden's writing them down right now, which is why you're not hearing any content.
You could fix
he is
that.
the next person to predict.
Mr. Audio Editor.
Yeah, but that takes a lot more work than I want to do.
Okay, so my next prediction is actually we're going to ride on that train. So Microsoft's going to start their next event with the new console information. That's the first thing they're going to have in their event, and then that's going to be followed by a theme of cross-gen just throughout the event. So basically, most games they're going to talk about will have cross-gen mentioned, or at least in concept. They might not use the term cross-gen, but it's going to be the theme across the event.
Cool.
Sure.
Jerica, is yours next-gen Xbox related?
That's what I was about to ask. Are we just sticking with that topic, or did I miss something?
No. We just happen to all have the same one.
Okay. Well, I want to take it to the Square Enix conference.
Ooh, go on.
And I want to say that I feel like this is still confirmed, but Final Fantasy VII is still episodic, I think.
Yes, it is.
Has that been okay?
That has been confirmed.
It has been confirmed, yeah.
I think we'll get episode 1, the release date, and that's going to be early 2020.
That's
all right.
That's a strong prediction.
God, I want that game right now.
Thank you for stealing one of my predictions, Jerica.
Unless you can get more specific with the date, I think
can't.
early 2020.
I'm not crazy enough to do that. That's.
I'm next up for prediction 3. You took the Fable thing. Here we go. Ubisoft will open with a wacky Just Dance performance. I'm just kidding.
They're going to open.
Single year.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah.
They're going to open
Just
with
kidding.
it?
That happens every single time. No, here's my next one. Square will fill in Final Fantasy gaps by announcing every Final Fantasy 4 through 15, with the exception of 8 and 11, for current gen systems, including Switch. So every every system that's current gen will be able to play every Final Fantasy 4 through 15, with the exception of 8 and 11, because 11's dead and 8 is in some limbo that never gets re-released.
Because they lost it.
Yeah.
Man, all right, so that means they would have to... Man, I think the big get there is 6. The big get there is 6.
6?
Because just about everything else... I mean,
you're going to release the 13 trilogy as well.
But the 13 trilogy is... Oh, no, yeah, no.
And then 14 coming to Switch as well. So
14 coming to Switch is a gimme. I'm just picking through these. This is as a Final Fantasy fan, this is my dream, right? Like I would absolutely love this. How about this? It would be one of the first non-mobile releases of Final Fantasy V. So you sure you want to throw that out there?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to staple that? I mean, you're stapling your hand to the wall there, man.
Yeah.
Because 5 has been released only on mobile in the United States, to my understanding.
It was a PS1 classic that I played on my Vita.
Oh, never mind. You're right. I mean, listen, I'm down. I want to play all these games. I want to play Final Fantasy VI on my Switch.
Heck yeah.
You're damn right I do. Sure. That sounds great. I don't think that's going to happen, but I love it.
I mean, they just went on that blast with like 7 and 9 and 10 and 12 coming to everything, basically.
Yeah.
They've only got a few left to go.
Yeah, no, you're right. With 4, is it going to be the SNES version, the Game Boy Advance version?
It's probably not going to be the Story So Far edition.
I mean, that was great, though. The Holy
what was that, only
Dragoon.
WiiWare? That was a WiiWare exclusive version?
I think you can get it somewhere else, though. I think they wrapped it into the Steam version, I think.
Did they?
That was like Final Fantasy IV fan fiction, though.
Yeah.
It was so, I mean, for real, like Kain became a Holy Dragoon. I know, spoilers, I guess, for Final Fantasy, the after years, but Kain becomes a Holy Dragoon. God, so stupid. But, I mean, so here's the question with Final Fantasy IV. Are they going to do the 3DS or the DS version that was all like 3D with voice acting, where everyone learned that Cecil's name is pronounced Cecil in that?
Yep.
I mean,
I forgot that version came out.
That's the one my son is playing.
That's the first Final Fantasy game I ever played.
I played the complete story.
You are very
Vita.
young. Either that or
I
I'm
had
very
access to
old.
Final Fantasy games before that. That's just the one I happened to play first.
Listen, that one was cool.
But I am also young. There's also
yeah,
that.
and I am also old. All right, who's next?
I am next. My next prediction is that during Nintendo's E3 Direct, a new Hollow Knight Silksong trailer will debut.
Ooh, I like Silksong. That sounds good to me.
Hollow Knight, that game. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe bet. And a lot of nerds are going to be really happy.
I don't know. They've said that they expect more information soon at some point. But when they first announced Hollow Knight, it was years until that game actually came out. And they've been working on so much content in the background, they might not have anything to show off. I think it kind of can go up in the air. I don't know. But it's likely enough.
Jericho, you're up.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me look at my list. What do I want to use next? Well, I know at Bethesda, so they already confirmed that they are not going to have, obviously, the next Elder Scrolls or Starfield. I think that's impossible. Well, maybe Elder Scrolls, but I think we'll get definitely a teaser or something more for Starfield. I think it'd be ridiculous if they didn't show us anything.
Yeah.
It won't be there, but it will be there. Not playable, but a teaser.
Yeah, I dig
I think
that.
I've mentioned this on the show before, that I'm always going into a Bethesda conference. I'm always like, what do they have to show? And then it's like, they go through the conference. I'm like, oh yeah, all this shit. And I'm doing the same thing this year. It's like, what do they got? They've got Wolfenstein, Youngblood, and they've got
Doom, right?
Doom,
Yeah.
whatever is Doom Eternal.
Forever.
What are they going to show?
No,
They got to
it's
show
Eternal.
Starfield. Doom forever. Forever. And then Steven, what's your third prediction?
So I'm going to make a Smash prediction. I'm going to get that one out of the way.
right.
The next Smash DLC character will be announced. It's going to be Erdrick from Dragon Quest / Dragon Warrior, and he will be available that day.
Ooh.
How do you spell the name?
Erdrick, I don't know. It's the E dude from Dragon Warrior. I'll Google it. I don't know. I'll Google it up.
I'm just going to write Dragon Warrior character.
Yeah. You can say in parenthesis, Steve got specific, because we'll know who it is. Because if it turns out to be Doom Guy, I'm wrong. And you know, your listeners know who I'm talking about. I think it's Erdrick, E-R-D, something. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played it, but I think it's going to be that dude, and it's going to be that day. That's the real core of it. They're not going to do.
And you can play him now.
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense.
Prediction number 4, Holden. What you got?
Well, I'm going to do my Smash prediction then. More than one Smash character will be announced at E3.
Ooh.
I think that is also
They'll do
true.
2.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they'll both be available before the end of August.
I think that is
the reason I think. Yeah, they need to have, with the pace they're going, they need to start announcing some of these characters quickly. I was debating whether or not to do them releasing the same day or not, because they've done that with the Wii U versions of DLC characters. They'd have like 3 come out on one day. So I don't know if they're going to be on the same day or not, but for sure 2 have to come out before August, because they'll probably announce 2 more in the September Direct, which is another big time they announce stuff. to come out before the end of 2019, and then they'll announce one last character at like Game Awards to come out before February, which would be that year cutoff when they're going to have them all out. So I think that's kind of the timeline for that. So 2 before August, both of which announced.
1,000,000,000% down with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prediction number 4 for Jerica.
Evan, your mom is
got?
calling.
Oh yeah.
Evan.
So
Evan.
I just wish for this every year, because I hope it
mom
will
is calling
happen.
you.
But a Mass Effect remaster would be great.
How many years
if-
do we have to wish before it comes true?
I don't know. I feel like every year that I wish for it, it's doing something. Maybe I don't know, but that's my hope and dream. When that happens, I will probably take off my pants and run around wherever I'm at. I hope
I feel like
I'm
that's
at home.
exactly what they need to do to just win back some goodwill.
It would be incredible. Like that's, oh please, please.
Steven, what you got?
Prediction numero 4. Microsoft is going to, during their conference, reveal is the wrong word. They're going to fully unveil Minecraft Dungeons. And they will announce that there will be an open beta before the end of 2019.
I forgot about Minecraft Dungeons.
Yo, dude, there is quietly like an army of 12-year-olds losing their crap during that presentation. Like, you want to see like you remember the Smash Brothers reaction videos and like all those dudes going crazy.
Yep.
That's a bunch of 12-year-olds when Minecraft Dungeons gets announced, because that's basically Minecraft 2. That's basically the Minecraft 2-ist Minecraft 2 we're ever getting. And my son is going to shit his pants. That's not part of my prediction, to be clear. But they're going to unveil it, and
I'm going to ask you: did your son shit his pants or not? That's part of it.
And then
when was that beta?
Open beta. The open beta will start before the end of 2019.
Okay.
Fun side note: Holden and I just played through the part of Borderlands 2 where there's the fun Minecraft like little cave that you can go into and fight the creepers.
What?
The Minecraft Earth beta is going to start like...
No, we're not talking about Minecraft Earth. Go away.
So what did you say?
Minecraft Dungeons. Go away.
Minecraft Earth isn't going to have an open beta. It's not...
We're working.
He's got some opinions about Minecraft Earth.
He's hype as hell for Minecraft Earth.
I'm not looking at the list. I'm looking at my predictions. Am I next? Who's next?
Go for it, Chad. You're next. Yeah,
I'm
go
next.
for it.
Which of these do I want to do? Here we go. I think we're going to see at least 2 new IPs that are going to be revealed from third-party publishers that have Nintendo licensing, similar to Rabbids, Starlinked, and Crypt of the Neco Dancer.
At Ubisoft's event specifically?
Not necessarily at Ubisoft, but somewhere in this. It could be at a Nintendo Direct. It could be somewhere in this entire thing. We're going to see 2 games.
So 2 Nintendo IPs that are going to be from third parties.
Or third parties that integrate Nintendo characters.
Okay.
A la Cadence of Hyrule.
Right.
Okay.
Or Starlink. They had that Star Fox thing. Or
Yeah.
Mario Rabbids.
All right. Jerica, it's your turn next.
Okay.
Final predictions.
Let's see. I don't know where this one came from, but I wrote it down. With all these new studios working on new stuff, a new Perfect Dark Zero game, maybe?
I am down for a Perfect Dark game.
Because I feel like, if it's time for Microsoft to have a turnaround, that's what they started with the 360.
Yeah.
So, sure, why not? That was one of my first games I played on my Xbox.
That was like
360.
one of the only first games you could play on your Xbox 360. And that's
You're
also
right.
like I remember they had some
You're
kind of
right.
like event where they showed gameplay for the first time or something like that, and it was just like a bunch of people playing Perfect Dark Zero. I spent that N64 that I had as a kid, maybe a third of the entire total time I played on that console was Perfect Dark. Freaking loved it. All right, Steven, you're up for prediction number 5. It's the last one. Make it a good one.
Doom Battle Royale.
Oh, shit. How good would that be with how fast-paced that is?
Yep. It works so well. You know? Like, and Bethesda, they're not, like, one to chase trends, but they don't have a Battle Royale in their portfolio. And I think Doom Eternal is coming. I think it just makes perfect sense. Bunch of Doom guys on Mars with, like, demons running around. Doom Battle Royale.
So are you leaving the prediction at Doom Battle Royale or Doom Battle Royale in Doom Eternal?
No, my prediction is that they will announce Doom Battle Royale. I don't know that it'll necessarily be in Doom Eternal. It probably will, but my prediction is that they're going to announce Doom Battle Royale.
Okay.
Cool.
Watch me be wrong and it's Quake Battle Royale and I missed by like half a shot, because the Quake Battle Royale would also work very well, but no, I said Doom. I'm going to stick with it. Doom Battle Royale. Do I get partial points if it's Battle Royale but it's Quake? Can I get?
I don't know. That's a tough one to give half credit on.
All right.
If you wanted to say they'll just announce a Battle Royale game.
No, I'm going to stick. I'm going to stick with it and then bitch when you guys rob me of points.
Which we very much will do. I'm going to be very stringent on this.
Listen, I totally.
I'm only going to be stringent on yours.
That's fair. You're going to need to be stringent on mine.
Oh God, this is so hard to decide which of these two I want to choose.
Right, you got the last one.
Oh, do I want the one that's more hype or the one that's more likely to happen?
Depends on whether or not you care about winning.
We're going with hype.
Hype.
All right. There will be a new 3D mainline Zelda game revealed, built with Breath of the Wild engine and art style.
You are absolutely high, but I love it. You're absolutely high.
It's gonna be the Majora's Mask turnaround thing. They're gonna use all the same assets, all the same stuff, and churn out something new, and hopefully a lot more interesting.
Oh, Jesus.
Because Majora's Mask was super interesting.
I mean, it was that, yes.
All right. My final prediction, let's see here. Okay, so in Nintendo's event, their main focus game is going to be Animal Crossing. They will have a featurette that is at like a... Maybe not as long as Smash's last year, but it will be a chunk of the E3. It will be heavily dedicated to Animal Crossing. It's going to show off the new activities, the new townsfolk, new items, like what kind of customizations you'll be able to do to your house. It's going to show like what the towns look like, that kind of stuff, and it'll be given its official title in that featurette.
How did we make it through 19 predictions and we let this son of a bitch walk out with Animal Crossing during the Nintendo press conference?
Because I don't want to hear anything else about Animal Crossing.
How did that happen? Oh.
Talk about a game more boring than Breath of the Wild. Fucking go pay a mortgage.
God, you know what? You don't understand anything that's good and pure in this world. That's it.
And then we had a tweet from D. Schmitty Games, who's Dallas. He's been on our show before. And he had his thoughts on E3 as well. He's saying he's hoping for Fable. He thinks something Legend of Zelda that's unannounced will be there. Fingers crossed for new God of War news. Looking forward to hearing something about new Assassin's Creed, Xbox New Studios games, and Cyberpunk in all caps with 2 exclamation points. And I agree. I would add at least 5 more exclamation points.
Cyberpunk is
probably my most hyped
Cyberpunk
game.
is a slam dunk for Microsoft's press conference. An absolute slam dunk. I bet you it opens. It's either going to open or close. It's just a matter of what they do with Halo Infinite.
I don't think I think they're going to let it be somewhere towards the end or like
come
the
on,
back
man!
half.
You can't do that. You gotta. Cyberpunk is bigger than anything Microsoft has on the table, other than maybe Halo Infinite.
But it's not a Microsoft exclusive. And
I don't know that matters.
And people, and if
they've
feel
opened
like
with Call of Duty before,
unless they announce some kind of partnership where it's like some kind of content exclusive.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's possible, but they've opened with Call of Duty before, and Call of Duty ain't nobody's exclusive.
They're absolutely 100%, I think, undeniably opening up with the next gen console information. The past, so 2016 and 2017's E3 events both started off with Xbox One S, and then the following year was Xbox One X. They started off their events with that information. That seems to be something they do. But also, they're going to talk a lot about cross-gen. I mean, that's one of those things where there's so much smoke, there has to be fire there. And I feel like that's going to be easier for them to talk about if they just start off the event with next gen. That way, everything after that, they can say, hey, it has cross-gen. So it's got to be set up that way. So I don't think they'll start off with Cyberpunk, but maybe it'll be like very close after. Like, oh, and look at what Cyberpunk looks like running on an Xbox 2. Maybe, I don't know. I just can't wait for Cyberpunk. Oh man, I can't wait for it.
I think it's interesting that Dallas put in here. He's looking forward to hearing something about the new Assassin's Creed. I don't think we'll hear a thing about the new one because they're not.
Yeah.
They mentioned they're not releasing a new Assassin's Creed this year. They're just focusing on Odyssey. But I do think we'll see maybe a lengthy thing on whatever's next for Odyssey.
Yeah, I don't know about Legend of Zelda. I feel like they already have 3 Legend of Zelda games that haven't come out yet before E3. When's the Cadence of Hyrule coming out? That's coming
sometime
out in June.
in
Is that
June.
before or after?
My guess is that day.
Yeah, you're probably right. So they have 3 at this point unreleased Zelda games that are scheduled for 2019. They want the focus to be on those Zelda games. Plus, I mean, they still have Retro's game. Like, what's going on with Retro's game? If they're going to tease a game for the future, I think they're going to tease Retro's next game. And by future, I mean like the 2020 game. That's not coming out this year because there's still so much to talk about that's coming to Switch this year. Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, Link's Awakening, Pokemon Sword and Shield, which won't be at E3 to be fair enough, but there's big games.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem, Three Houses,
I just,
Mario Maker. Yeah.
I forgot about Bayonetta too. Bayonetta.
Bayonetta,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
I forgot about that
And
too.
Astral Chain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's so much to talk about. I know. I would love to see the next
So
Zelda game,
hyped.
I do want to see it,
But-
I guess I would rather go into E3 not expecting it and then jumping out of my seat when it gets announced than being like, it's definitely going to be at this E3 and be let down.
Yeah, I don't see it. They don't, because they don't need it. Like announcing a new Zelda game is like a big gun. You know what I mean? And they don't need it. This year is already insane. And Chad, sure, maybe he's not excited about Animal Crossing because he's a monster. But like,
I'd rather get a colonoscopy.
Animal Crossing sold 12
Listen,
million
I'm not here
units
to
on
kink
3DS.
shame, man.
It's a huge seller.
I'm not here to kink shame, but like, yeah, Animal Crossing is going to make so many dollars. Because the thing is, like, that game is not targeted at like you and me. It's a little bit targeted at me, but like, there's a whole, but like, there are millions of people who play that game that are not like dudes that host podcasts, like that's,
Yeah.
and I mean
The
that
Sims of the of
dude,
Nintendo.
I mean, think about the Sims. There's a reason the Sims is getting a half-hour thing during EA
Yeah,
Play
it's
on
huge.
Saturday because it's huge, and Animal Crossing is that, but with like furries. Like, also it's accessible to casual players and younger kids.
Yeah.
And grandmas.
And
Remember that? Have you
grandmas.
seen that video? That like
Yeah, no,
80-year-old
she's right.
grandma's been played it for like 5 years, and she's so rich in the game, and she knows all the people in her town.
Yeah.
It's so cute. That's a great video.
Yeah,
I have not
no,
seen
you know
that.
what? I had
watch it.
forgotten about it until you mentioned it. But yeah, I mean, there's so many
has, like, a
stories like
DS.
that. I mean, it's
Adorable.
that game. Like, I know the Engaged Family Gaming community, like, if you even talk about, if, like, Animal Crossing is like a whisper on the wind, they're like piranhas. Just, it's going to be nuts. If it's not there by some, I'm going to have to deal with a riot. Like, I'm going to have to bring in extra community management staff. Like, can I hire you guys to come in and, like, help fix my community? Because they're just
Yeah, I'll come and yell at them and tell them it's not good.
No, that's
Calm
not.
down.
That's bad community management, Chad. Maybe I'll have somebody else.
Well, that wraps up our predictions. We're going to go
I
through...
do want to just run through the predictions one more time, just that way I can make sure I have them written
Okay.
down. And just in case our audience can hear one more time. So starting with Jericho's, one, Fable 4 announced at Microsoft's event with a remaster of the first game. I got that right? Mm-hmm. Cool. Final Fantasy VII coming in 2020. It's going to be Episode 1 specifically. 3, more Starfield information will be revealed at Bethesda's event. 4, Mass Effect remaster will happen, and that's the trilogy. And 5...
Wow, he got
Perfect
awfully
Dark
specific
Zero
about
game.
that.
What?
You got awfully, and that's the trilogy. You got awfully specific.
Well, I
on-
didn't write down trilogy. I was just kind of like re-remembering. I just wrote Mass Effect remaster. That wasn't like a...
It's perfect. Yes, all of it.
Okay. Steven's predictions. We had 1, Amiibo support for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, with 1 Marvel Amiibo character being announced at E3 at least. 2 is Microsoft will say next gen coming before summer 2020, and we'll have 2 SKUs. 3, new Smash character will be the Dragon Quest guy, Ulrich. I didn't even write it down. Short
Something.
Erdrick.
And that'll be available the day of the announcement. 4, Microsoft Minecraft Dungeons reveal will be happening during Microsoft's event, and it'll be an open beta that starts before the end of 2019. And then 5 is a Doom Battle Royale.
To be specific about my Microsoft thing, I don't know if you wrote it down wrong or you read it wrong. They're going to reveal it during the event, and then the beta by the end. You said that it's going to release during the event, and then there's going to be a beta.
Oh, I meant to say reveal.
Okay,
yeah.
Fair enough. I was like, damn, I'm not that ballsy. It's going to release before the beta. I mean, that sounds Minecraft as hell. Yeah. But, okay. And then Doom Battle Royale.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool. And then Chad's predictions. We had 1 BioShock Next Gen teaser at Microsoft's event. 2, all next gen games announced during Microsoft's event will be playable on current gen using Project xCloud.
Yep.
So you won't have to buy an Xbox 2. Number 3 is Square will announce Final Fantasy 4 through 15 on all systems, including the Switch. Was it 8 and 11?
8 and 11.
Minus 8 and 11.
8 and 11.
Minus the impossible ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 4, at least 2 Nintendo IP from third-party developers will be announced.
Yep.
Is that fair enough? Cool. And then 5, a new 3D Zelda will be shown off. It's a sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Not sequel to Breath of the Wild, but in the same engine and art style.
Well, I mean, like, it's a continuation of that. It's not Link's Awakening 2D. It's the next 3D.
Right. But if it's not called Breath of the Wild 2, I'm not getting dinged.
I'm not
for it.
not counting it as that. Yeah, I'm not counting it as that. My predictions were more than one Smash character will be announced, both coming before the end of August. During Nintendo's E3 Direct, a Hollow Knight Silksong trailer will be debuting, and then Animal Crossing will be shown in a featurette highlighting new items, activities, including the official title. That'll be a focus of Nintendo's event. 4, a new trailer for Cyberpunk 2077 will be shown off during Microsoft's event and will have a 2020 release window. And then Microsoft will start off their event with the new console information, and the prominent theme for the rest of the event will be cross-gen after that. Cross-gen support after
Cross-gen!
So can we just talk for a second? Let's pretend we're in the future. And let's pretend every one of those predictions came true.
My pants are gone.
Well, I mean, your pants are gone. Like, that
Shit my pants so hard they disappeared.
Like, because we all like,
Even Jarek is like, whoa, what happened? Where did they go?
Whoa.
they just evaporated. Because here's what's crazy, right? That's incredibly hype. The stuff, like the way it all comes out, if everything was right. But none of us made predictions that are impossible.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I've seen my share of prediction shows. I've been on my share of prediction shows, and there's always like that wild, crazy stuff that is impossible. And what's wild about the 4 of us is we all made predictions that are incredibly hype and cool, but none of them are like, all of them. I was sitting there going, yeah, I could see it's, I might say you're crazy, but like, it's possible. I might just be wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's so wild about this E3 is we just made shit up for an hour, right? But like, it could all happen and it's all awesome. You know, like, some of it I don't know, man. This is just so crazy. This is going to be such an awesome year. I can't wait. Now I might be singing a different tune in 2 weeks when we come back. I got everything wrong and, whatever, but this is going to be such a wild ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on top of that too, like, this is the weirdest E3 ever to me. It's unlike any that we've ever had. So like, a lot of my things that I'm always really sound on, like, yeah, we're going to get this, just by Sony not being there just really puts a wrench in things. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I was there, and I was kind of like, I don't know. It seems like it's going to be a weird E3. And then I started my predictions. I'm like, no, this is going to be a great E3. Nintendo has an absurd amount of stuff that's awesome they still need to talk about. Microsoft, very likely, I mean, no one here is going to deny it. They're talking about next gen at E3.
Yeah.
That's hugely exciting. Square Enix will actually have a really interesting press conference, it sounds like, with Avengers and Final Fantasy VII. And I think, I didn't include some of my predictions, but like, I think that they might finally reveal Final Fantasy 16. And they're working on that. It's been a while since Final Fantasy 15 came out. Like, they could have a massive showing. And I don't think that's unrealistic.
It's not. If they announce Final Fantasy 16, I will lose my shit.
I will shit your pants.
On a level.
Then they'll disappear.
My pants.
Hopefully, because you don't want to
And
clean
you'll
up that
find
mess.
Jericho some shit in those pants too.
Just go to everyone's
listen,
house
my-
and shit in all their pants.
My pants will stay right where they need to be, because ain't nobody need to see that. But like for real, I mean, it's gonna happen eventually, right? Like there is a team making a Final Fantasy 16. And the only question is whether or not they decide to learn from the shenanigans that were 15. Because as much as I enjoyed
And 7 remake.
7 remake. Well, 7 remake is a different pile of garbage because, and I'm super excited about that game. Don't get me wrong, even though I really don't like 7. But like that was because they tried to farm it out. They tried to trust somebody else when really you can't. That's your baby. You got to take care of that. Whereas 15, I feel like they should have just shoved it to Bandai Namco or something and let them finish it. It probably would have been a better game. But like what I mean is learn is like you can't internally take a decade to make a Final Fantasy game. You've got to get back in a habit and change and get these games out there. And you are right. If they learned the right lesson, then now is the time for Final Fantasy 16. I'm with you.
They also canceled all those Final Fantasy 15 DLC for what reason? Probably to focus on 16.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be great.
I forgot about that, yeah.
So it's time. But it's one of those things where it might be smart of them just to say, hey, we're finally showing off Final Fantasy 16. We know it's been a long time, but it's coming out this year. That'd be really smart of them to do, and that's not going to happen this year.
Oh, I mean, they're definitely not going to have. You know what? I don't know. I'm not going to talk shit because it's so wild. Like this. I mean, E3 is definitely not dead. Like that whole bullshit is not true.
It's like saying consoles are dead. When everyone said consoles were dead, it's like, all right.
But it's like this year. I mean, we're going to see it in 2 weeks. The 4 of us are going to come back, and I mean, what'll happen is maybe not our predictions will be right, but I think if our predictions are wrong, like something more awesome or equally awesome will have been announced. Like there is no scenario where I think we come out of the other end of this week and are disappointed. I mean,
no, I don't
for
think
me,
so either.
there's no way I'm disappointed. Everything it's all upside to me. And could be because I'm a giant hype monster, but like, like I can't imagine anything being bad.
Well, the past, like last year at E3, I had a sense of like, yeah, I'm excited for E3 because it's E3, but like not really looking forward to that much specifically. This time around, I'm pumped.
Yep.
There's going to be great stuff shown off.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And even that, like even with the next gen stuff, even if they don't show that much, the conversation started. And I'm just kind of curious to see if they don't talk about everything, how they hide those details and kind of walk around it.
Yeah.
I always just like that stuff too.
Do we see a lot of trailers that are like, this game's coming out. We don't know for what system, though. Do we get a Watch Dogs thing?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it'd
great.
become an Xbox 2 and other next-gen
And
systems.
other
We'll
something.
get a lot of that, I'm sure.
That wraps up our E3 predictions. We have a couple more things to go through, including Game on Game Show, so stick around. First is hashtag Thanks for Creating, where we take a moment to thank developers, people in the game industry about things that they do and tell them how great they are. This week, I want you to thank the developer who made your favorite E3 game reveal. So whatever reveal at an E3 that you were watching a press conference or saw a trailer and you're like, oh my God, whatever that is to you, thank that developer. We mentioned earlier this episode, our BARF game, Backlog Accomplishment with Respawn and Friends, that you can play along with us is Borderlands 2 till the end of the month. So as you're playing through, if you want to tabulate your thoughts and let us know, 280 characters or less, we will mention that on our review episode. And you can also play along with us. You can subscribe to patreon.com/respawnaimfire to play along with us, get exclusive wallpapers, get influence over what we play for the month as well. And then if you have a subscriber interrogative, we kind of integrated that with Dallas's thing here, but if you have a subscriber interrogative, which is a fancy way to say listener question, you can submit that to us on Twitter or via email at respawnaimfire or respawnaimfire@gmail.com. And finally, wrapping up with our Game on Game Show, where we play a game on game show called Game On, our gaming show on our game show called Game. And this week, we have Now Flesh It Out. So it's another one where we take 3 games, we mash them together, and decide whatever that game might look like.
3 games this time.
Yes, 3. We always do 3 for Flesh It Out.
I thought we combined 2 games together.
It's 3 games that we create out of mashups. Yes.
I got confused for a second.
God, how many
I don't know
times
how
have
our
done
show works. I haven't done it yet.
this? Our first one. What would a game look like if we mashed up Mass Effect and Pokemon? What do you think that game would look like?
Do you play as a Pokemon?
Perhaps.
Let's see.
So we're mashing up Mass Effect and Pokemon?
Mass Effect and Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think
Alright.
the easy route to go is you are a Pokemon trainer, and instead of collecting people like the Krogan and all of these teammates, you're collecting Pokemon, and then you can go on side quests to learn about their backstory, like Charmander and the Rain and the trainer that like left him out on the rock, and Squirtle and the Squirtle Squad, that kind of stuff. I
Can
think
you
that's an easy route.
take the Pokemon on a date? Can you romance them?
You have to
I
romance a
guess.
Pokemon. Okay.
Oh, the Pokemon breeder just takes on all new meanings.
Yes.
Yes. All right. What if it's only a Pokemon breeding game? Like it's romance options from Mass Effect 3, but you play as Pokemon.
Oh, that's
and you
cute.
simulate Pokemon sex.
In space.
Pokemon sex in space.
I don't want to see that. I am so good.
Or what it could be is it's just Mass Effect, but instead of shooting guns, you just have Pokeballs. You have to catch all your enemies instead. That's it. That's the only thing that's different. So it's a cover shooter. You like gun up behind cover, throw a Pokeball, and then you catch them. Yeah.
All right.
And then you capture them for diplomatic interrogations that are dialogue
Oh,
sequences.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and they feel comfortable in their Pokeballs. They're not upset or discomforted at all.
Yeah.
Well, when I say diplomatic, discussion, I mean it's torture.
Oh.
So and then I have a conversation with them afterwards. So this is
waterboarding.
Commander Shepard. He doesn't treat people well. He's a hard ass.
All right. Interesting. Next up, how do we combine Kingdom Hearts and Until Dawn?
What?
Oh my
Hearts and
god,
Until
this is
Dawn.
awesome.
I just think that
Obviously,
sounds like
I
the
just want
worst
to kill
game
all
ever.
the Kingdom
I
Hearts
know.
characters.
Yeah. But
It sounds like the worst game ever because it's just the story of Kingdom Hearts where you have to hit QuickTime events, basically.
Yeah.
That would
That's
take
pretty much it.
forever.
That's what
Sounds
it is.
horrible.
it would take
That sounds
forever.
awful.
But what happens if Goofy or Donald dies?
At
Or
least
if
I
Sora
will know
dies?
that they died, because if any other character dies, I can't tell them apart. I can't. So if they die, at least I know.
That would be kind of cool, being like, I'm going to play through the story of Alice in Wonderland where Alice dies in the first scene and the rest of the story has to play out. Like, when you go to these different kingdoms, then it turns into the Until Dawn, like, movie version of that Disney film.
All right.
That could be fun.
I could just
That
see
could be
Goofy
fun.
like trying to run from like, I don't know, some character trying with the chainsaw. And like had to press A like super fast.
Or that could be what it is. All the Disney princesses go to a cabin in the woods.
Yeah, there you
The
go.
story of Until Dawn where all the
Yes.
Disney princesses are getting killed.
Yes. I would play that game.
Me too.
I would love to play that
That's
game because I don't like
great.
Disney that much. There'd be a weird.
That
like,
would make the most popular like Twitch stream. Is playing a Disney
yeah.
Princess Murder Simulator.
Hey, good luck.
I'm sure Disney would allow it.
Good luck.
I'm sure Bob Iger,
Yeah.
the CEO, would be totally cool.
Yeah, good luck getting that through licensing.
Hey, Mickey Mouse, how would you like it if we took Cinderella and like cut her head off with an? No, you don't like that. Why not?
All right. I'm actually going to do 2 more because I had a couple of backups just in case, and I really want to do these 2. First one, Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Twisted Metal.
I mean, that's easy. You pick your vehicle and you ride over the obstacles, and the combos that you make build up your damage meter, and then you basically are playing Twisted Metal with supers.
All right. I thought about it the other way, where you're all skateboarding and maybe you have machetes,
Me too.
chainsaws, and you're
Oh
just like,
my
as you
God.
pass somebody, you like cut their leg off. And it's like super
You
brutal.
do more damage if you're getting points doing a trick while you
Oh
hit them.
yeah.
Oh, there you go. If
I'd
you're
play
both
it.
like jumping up in midair and you're like do a 360 and then there's a blade on the front of your skateboard that cuts the other guy's head off, then yeah.
I'm really surprised that's not actually a game.
Right?
Sounds great.
Crash Bandicoot and GTA.
Isn't that already the same? I mean, isn't that just a PC mod? Like,
I don't know. Is it? Because
I
would play the
wouldn't be
shit out of that.
surprised.
we have Google. I don't know why. I mean, hold on.
I mean, I want to try to imagine Crash Bandicoot driving up and I guess being a pimp. I don't know, and doing drugs and finding aliens in the woods. I don't know. That may already happen in Crash Bandicoot. I can't remember.
There is a page of YouTube results of Crash Bandicoot mod in GTA 5.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's
But
awesome.
it's got a really annoying YouTuber, so I had to mute him. Yeah, no, you're playing GTA 5
As Crash
Crash
Bandicoot.
Bandicoot.
What if we flip it on its head? What if you play a Crash Bandicoot game with GTA 5 characters?
I'm in.
What are the crazy guys from GTA 5? Like the really insane one?
Not Trevor. I forgot his name.
I never actually played GTA 5.
I think it is Trevor.
Is it? I think Trevor's
Maybe?
the one that everyone's like, oh my god, he's crazy. If you have him, what if he's running at the screen, and the more as it's an endless runner type thing, the more hookers and stuff that you hit or kill people or deal drugs as you're running, the higher your wanted meter, which means there's more obstacles and more, I don't know, helicopter shooting at you. I don't know what happens when you get a high wanted meter.
That's it.
That's GTA mobile game right there.
There you go.
Endless runner, and you just try to avoid the police as long as you can. Done. Perfect. Well, that brings an end to our Now Flesh It Out game on Game Show, and an end to our show. Thank you both so much, Jerica and Steven, for joining us. You will be back in 2 weeks to talk about how E3 went and take a look at our predictions and see who won. But I also wanted to give you guys one last chance to plug your stuff before we wrap up for the episode. So, Jerica, go ahead and tell people where they can find you.
Well, I don't know why I said 2 G's earlier. There's 2 G's. Shit. I just had a brain fart. So let's try this again. You can follow me on Twitter at GlitchGirl. It's spelled with a U instead of an... Is this still right? An I? R-L. I can't fucking spell right now. Let me just spell it. Capital G, Litch, G-U-R-L. It's all together at GlitchGirl. You'll find me there. Going to cat shows. That's what's pinned up there right now.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. And Steven, where can people find you and your content?
So the very best place to find our content is actually on our Facebook page. Because that's where the parents are, folks. But it is facebook.com/engagedfamilygaming or engagedfamilygaming.com/Facebook because we're fancy. You can also talk to me on Twitter. It is at Duetzmania, so at DUETZ Mania, MANIA, blah, blah. And, or at EFGAMING. That's, the professional stuff.
Dope. I'm Chad Michael Innes. My Twitter is at InnesChadMike. No, it's not anymore. It's at Chad Mike Innes. I just changed everything. Everything is now at Chad Mike Innes. Holden DePardo, where do people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Holden DePardo or on Instagram at Caulrye, Caulrye.
Woo! And until next week, here's our usual sign-off. Mass Effect Remastered! Please!
So we can lose our pants.